You can hear me on camera. Yes!
You're the bad guys.
Holy you used to do sketch comedy too.
Sketch comedy and stand-up for a while, yeah.
Do the N-word joke you had.
You're getting real red right now.
No, it's the cedar fever. You know?
Oh, I
It's like,
see. The cedar fever activated by racism.
Say hi to Eli. He's racially ambiguous, and Brandon, his hair is fucking fabulous. And Donut, a dark joke disposition, and there's a fat electrician. Welcome to Unsubscribe.
Hey, really quick, before the episode starts, we have a special little giveaway with Mr. Richard Ryan.
I actually don't sell these books anymore. It's the limited edition matte black hardcover. So I got like 1,000 copies I'm gonna give away to viewers. How do you wanna do it?
Head over to bunkerbranding.com, buy any 2 shirts, and we will send one of these for free back at you.
Do me a favor, if you like it, maybe leave me a review somewhere.
Where?
It doesn't matter.
Be direct.
Amazon.
They just write a note in
Doesn't
their-
matter. Just let me know you appreciate all the hard work that went into this.
Their diary.
Love it. Big fan.
Now back to the show.
Gay.
Give a
Gay! Richard Pug motherfucking Ryan.
sorry. We just brought you here to make fun of you.
Yeah, that's
It's
all
gonna
I'm
be a
gonna do
roast
for
the entire
next-
time. We're great. Awesome. I like Dags.
You like that?
Yeah.
Doogs.
Do that Richard Ryan voice. Dukes. Like, stop, not now. Everyone ready?
Oh, shoot. Can I borrow one?
You right here?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, this one. And then what one you want to pop?
What is it? Oh, is this?
pop
What
one.
is this? All right,
That's
yeah.
apple. Do you like
Okay,
apple?
sure.
On the count of 3, we're going to pop it next to the microphone. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Unsubscribe podcast. I'm joined today by Eli Doubletap, Richard Ryan, Brandon Herrera, myself, Donut Operator. Thank you so much for being here.
What's up, heads?
She
Vote for Brandon. I don't know where.
District 23.
Well, I've heard better pitches. It's not the worst I've heard, but it's not great.
Just start with violence. Like, what the fuck? Dude, we get Mr. Richard Ryan today. We've known each other for, we were just
2
talking
days.
about this. Yeah, 2 days.
Yeah.
Yesterday was our first date, and man,
Great. Thank you. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
thank you. You are, what happened to your farmer hat?
I switched it because I was like, I can't compete with Don Fry. I was like, he's the only other person to wear a cowboy hat, right?
I can't believe you just called it a farmer hat.
That's a farmer hat. That was made of straw.
Yeah, that's true. It's true.
Also, if you have a problem, you can talk to our HR person, Don Fry.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm good. I'm good.
Oh my God, Connor, come try Richard Ryan's hat on because I know he has the largest head in the fucking world.
So we're starting this out
I'll
with
fight Richard on that one.
I know. Richard, you are proud of you.
we're starting this episode with a humiliation
Yeah,
ritual.
I guess it's like a 8, like 7 3.
Oh fuck!
Yeah, 7 3/4 8.
Dad, can we go to the baseball?
I was like, wait, Richard just has a big ass.
No, I do. Yeah,
have a normal size head.
yeah. It's frustrating when you're getting cowboy hats because
They killed 2 cows.
Methinks the lady duck protests too much.
love it. All right.
They killed 2 cows. I just got that.
Oh man, this is gonna be a fun one, dude. Welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, we got all kinds of like hot takes and stuff to go through today.
Oh yeah, and
Excited.
I feel like half of them are going to be targeted. But let's go.
No, come on. All right. So might as well start with hot takes. Insider trading when it comes to politics and everything. I just feel like my hot take is no, they should be able to, and they should make a shit ton of money while they're in there. The problem is the incentives aren't aligned. They're misaligned. They're making money while their constituents are losing money. So how about we structure things in a way where if their constituents are winning, they're winning. If their constituents are losing the purchasing power of their dollar and their housing's going up and all these other things, bailouts and different industries and stuff like that, then they lose their money and their equity and these other things as well. The consequences for them, I think, should be equal to constituents. And I think they're just, if you ban people from insider trading, okay, then they'll get people to prop up their campaigns, however they're going to do it, through super PACs or whatever. And then they'll, grind it out for 4 years, 8 years, or however long they're in there. Then they'll get a nice job when they're out. So I think
that's what they do now.
No, that's
they
what I'm
all
saying.
get like big, cushy $1 million lobbying jobs and stuff like that. Well, actually, one of the things that I had thought about, and these are things that you propose, and like I'd have to talk to people about it, whether or not it's actually like a legitimate thing. And plus, I would probably never pass a vote because people typically don't vote against their own interests. Is the shitty part. But I had considered like, what if you capped the salary? Because the salary for congressmen, I forget what it is, like $130 a year or something like that.
Yeah.
What if you capped it at whatever the medium salary is in your district? Because personally, I feel like congressmen are overpaid. I know it's going against where I guess you were going with that, but like I feel like they're overpaid. I feel like it's community service. Like if you look at state legislators here in Texas, they don't get paid jack shit. I'm pretty okay with that.
Yeah, but I look at it from a business perspective too, right? Because so one of the analogies that I've had with a lot of people is like as a businessman or whatever, if you want your salesman to be making a boatload of money if they're commission based, right? Because if they're winning, you're winning. How do we set politicians up to have that where there's some form of accountability where they win, we win, or we win, they win, and if we lose, they lose?
So how do you set up an incentive that's like, especially a
Kick your chair down.
a monetary incentive for doing a good job that isn't just getting reelected?
Yeah, no, that's the incentive right now, right? It's like,
Which I think is kind of a shitty incentive. You get a shit job for another 2 years,
yeah, I was wanting,
unless you're insider trading.
yeah, I was wanting to break it to you like here, but like we kind of talked about it before because it wasn't fully fleshed out and everything. But I think there is something there. The unfortunate situation is I think that you look at the purchasing power of the American, taxpayer at this point in time. They're getting destroyed by inflation. Like the inflation, regardless of what you see reported, is like 8 to some sectors like 20% year over year. Nobody's getting that kind of a raise from their bosses every single year.
It's the biggest invisible tax on the average
That's
American.
exactly it. And so like my fear is that the rich are going to keep getting richer because they're invested in these assets or whatever they are, and they're going to keep getting bailed out, which bailouts in and of themselves is like you don't buy a Ford and then Ford goes bankrupt and then they get a bailout and you end up paying for it either way and you didn't get the product, right? It's screwed up in so many different ways. But I think that we haven't hit that critical mass yet, but I think we're rapidly approaching where we keep adding more powder to the keg. And something like a Charlie Kirk or whatever, it's not going to be about that thing, but it's going to lead to something unprecedented that I don't think the last 2-3 generations have really seen within the United States. And if we don't start rapidly like focusing on how do we realign the incentives around politicians to focus on the things that really matter to their constituents and not just getting reelected. And so what we were kind of talking about was like, okay, what about, this is a wild, crazy idea, but America's extremely litigious in so many different ways. How do we leverage that against or leverage it for the constituents, for the people who are voting for these elected officials? Well, if you had a handful of candidates that were looking to primary somebody and they were willing to disclose everything that they own, their stocks, their house and everything else, put it into not our irrevocable trust is what I was thinking before, maybe just a blind trust where they have an executor, which could be the super PAC or whatever, and they just have a set list of criteria. I will not ever vote to increase the national debt. I will only vote to balance the budget or whatever. I'll never vote to infringe on firearms, whatever, like 5 things that like most Americans can agree on. And if they ever vote against their constituents, their assets are liquidated. Their fucking, all the money that was put towards their campaign, reimburse the super PAC, and like that kind would flush out the bad actors.
You'd have to have a lot of trust in whoever's running that super PAC.
Yeah.
Because that basically makes them completely beholden to them, more so than already.
You would have to define, like any trust has its own governing documents, right? And so you would just stipulate these are the things that they could not vote against their constituents on. You couldn't make it up as you go. It'd have to be part of the articles whenever you go into it. But I think that if we don't find a way to introduce accountability with elected officials, people are just going to get tired more so of voting for change and not getting it, to the point where, you can't afford groceries year over year, you're getting less and less, to the point where something like a Charlie Kirk happens and people just, more people start dying because of it.
Richard, I love you.
Hot take.
Welcome to our comedy podcast.
Is that what this is? This has nothing to do with the book. Nothing to do with the book.
Richard, how do we know you, man? How do you know us, dude?
Well, you've known because you knew everyone at the table in different times and different reasons.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah. Man, I guess. Me and you way back. I moved to Los Angeles way back in the day to pursue a career in comedy. Failed miserably.
I forgot you did.
Yeah,
Holy shit, you used to do sketch comedy too.
Sketch comedy and stand up for a while. Yeah,
I didn't know you did stand up.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, man. Dude, it was funny. I would go to the store and
Do the N-word joke you had.
go to the store, and it's so funny because I had this notebook, Orlando Bloom notebook that I had like all my sets and stuff. And there's just like all these really cool spots that LA has. Like one was it was a Ramada Inn that used to be a morgue, and it was like the basement, and it was a really cool spot because that's where a lot of tourists would stay, and so you would get really fresh crowds, because typically when you're doing a room in LA, it's full of a bunch of other comedians, so it's kind of tough. We're getting like the tourists and everything. It was great. But anyways, I digress. I did sketch comedy, which led me to YouTube and everything. And I also, at the same time, I was doing software development. So I built a YouTube app and had it in the App Store 4 years before YouTube, which was awesome. And I tied AdSense to it, which kind of coincided with a partner program at that time. And then through those relationships, I started collaborating with other people like Freddie Wong and Corridor Digital and everything. That's how I met Eli, was through Corridor Digital. And then...
it was like 2012, by the way. This is
I
can't even know
Yeah.
these two individuals.
Dude, what
later.
hurt me was like the first time I think you and I met was
I was
at the
just going
range.
to bring this up.
Fucking crushed my soul. You were like, I used to watch your videos when I was a kid. I was like...
I didn't mean it like that.
It was like I was like a sneak diss.
I didn't mean it like that, but I did grow up like when I was watching, early YouTube in the days of like, FPS Russia, stuff like that. It was like your like tech assassin videos and stuff like that. I just remember it was so, for the time.
Yeah.
This is where you have like dudes with a 360p, $400 Best Buy camera propped up in the woods, like, I'm going to shoot some cans. And you're doing like Hollywood production, like video assets and all. Like it looked like it belonged on Discovery.
You were one of the first slow-mo, or were you the first slow-mo individual to use it, especially for firearms?
Yeah, no, I think I was. Oh, for sure. Yeah. I think at the time, the only big ones were maybe Will It Blend?
Oh my God.
Will It Blend, and then FPS Russia.
Will It Blend? I forgot
that existed.
Yeah.
Man, this is like, that's YouTube lore.
So there's a
Back
lot of
when I
people.
was-
A lot of people in the audience won't even remember this. Like it's before their time.
Yeah. Yeah. And then that kind of branched off. You got the people who really kind of doubled down on that was, I think, Tech Racks. And then Demolition Ranch kind of went from specialty shotguns to like 50 cals and stuff like that and everything. And like,
Pour one out for the homie.
Yeah. Dude, come on now. That's wild to see. Like Inception and the whole arc, and then just like, it's wild.
Him from like being like a real young guy to being like a successful family man who's just like, all right, peace out.
When I left Los Angeles to launch that media company with Verizon and hers, I came through here and I stopped to visit with Matt, and we filmed a few episodes where we like duct tape some shotguns together or something. I forget. Yeah, it's just, It's a very small world.
Can you bring up the company's name? Because then I helped with that too.
Which one?
Red.
Oh, Rated Red?
Rated Red.
Yeah.
I helped. And that was another thing. This is after we met. I helped, what was the LA-based group? This military veteran one that helped run Rated Red 2 on the back end or create content for quick shorts.
Oh, I don't know.
Dude, it was
there's like
weird.
a handful of people. Yeah.
It was weird. Like we were tied in multiple different businesses without we met, and then it was just like random. Oh, this company is working for Rated Red and helping build media on the military influencer side.
That's the thing I've noticed about Richard is that like no matter who he's affiliated with at the time or whatever, he's always around. Like it's just like, oh fuck, I didn't expect. What do you do? I didn't expect to see you here. That's cool.
I just tell people I'm a subject matter enthusiast. I just get really excited about shit, try to figure it out and go hard in the paint.
It's called autism.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Well, or being poor as a kid. Like one of the stories I like to tell is like my very first car is like was a '67 Mustang, and people would be like, "Oh wow, must be nice." Like, bro, slow your roll. And technically, as an '80s kid, that was not a cool car back then. And like my mom got it for me. It was probably like $500. It didn't run when I was 13. And like, here's a Haynes manual. If you want a car to drive whenever you're 15, figure it out. And so like I'd spend my summers working at like an amusement park, like Winnepesaukah for those in Northwest Georgia. I was a carny in some capacity. And then I just start figuring out how to get the car running and everything. So I know everything about like those 289 and 302 engines and everything inside and out. But that's kind of been like the ethos for me in life in so many different ways was I try to understand things, deconstruct it, and figure out how to make it better if I can. So that's why I taught myself how to program and, embrace the whole YouTube thing and content creation, because I was really frustrated with a traditional way of asking permission to be creative in the entertainment industry and everything. So,
Hey,
Well, one more time.
hey, you probably heard of HelloFresh.
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 Like, of course you'd think it's YellowFresh.
You would.
Arigato.
They're the #1 meal kit in America, making home cooking easy by delivering chef-crafted recipes and ingredients directly to your door.
This isn't the HelloFresh you remember. It's bigger.
What'd you call me?
They've doubled their menu. Now you can choose from 100 options every week, including new seasonal dishes and recipes from around the world.
Dig into bigger portions that will keep everyone satisfied.
And now you can choose from over 15 high-protein options each week.
Healthier. Like grass-fed ribeye?
I don't know how they get the ribeye to eat the grass.
HelloFresh helps you eat greener too. With their new veggie-packed recipes, they have 2 or more veggies per dish.
That's not for our audience.
Meat, steak. You know what my favorite vegetable is, Cody?
Mayonnaise?
No.
Stephen Hawking?
What?
Their menu is awesome. You can get steak and seafood recipes delivered each week at no extra cost.
Now with 3 times the seafood options.
You love seafood.
Mm-mm.
Before they sponsored us, I've actually been using HelloFresh for years, paying for it, and it's always a great value, and it's always really good recipes.
I have actually done the same, and I will admit, it was pretty damn good.
Now HelloFresh or a meal replacement program like that is cheaper than going at this point.
Dude, yeah, as expensive as fast food's getting.
Go to HelloFresh.com/unsub10FM and get 10 free meals now.
Plus a free breakfast for life.
A whole breakfast for free for life?
1 per box with active subscription.
Free meals applied as discount on first box. New subscribers only. Varies by plan.
That's HelloFresh.com/unsub10FM to get 10 free meals plus a free breakfast for life.
Getting into the YouTube space, what was the launch into that? Where you're like, oh, I want to do this with firearms. I know you're saying comedy, but what got you into the firearm side?
Oh, dude, it was a completely a cerebral situation where I was still doing stand-up and I was doing sketch comedy. And it was doing really well. They were actually coming together for the station. So that was Phil DeFranco, Cassim G, and all these guys coming together to create one of the first multi-channel networks.
Every new name is just a flashbang into like, oh shit, yeah, like 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah, Lisa Nova. And,
I met Philip because of you.
Yeah.
Like it's all those weird random shit. I always forget about that.
And Yeah, and so they were like, "Hey, look, you should do your own thing." And I was like, "Well, I don't want to take away from what it is that we're doing here. I don't want to go from making sketch comedy to doing other sketch comedy stuff. Like, I want to keep contributing to that. So what's a hard 180 from this? What do I enjoy?" And I literally sat down. I was like, "What could I do every single week that I wouldn't get tired of? What would be evergreen? What would constantly have new stuff coming in?" That's where I kind of came out Tech Assassin and the Breakdown, because there was always new movies, new video games, new gadgets and shit like that coming out. And then I would always have something new and I wouldn't get burned out, which I did.
It happens.
It happens.
And editor, if you could put up just like a little clip of like the Tech Assassin stuff. Like, I really want people to understand like the assets and whatnot involved, because it wasn't just a dude in a field with a gun. Like, it was very like
somewhat
in-depth.
thoughtful.
Yeah. Well, just you're adding like
period,
visual
wild.
effects and shit, which like nobody was doing at least in the gun space. And I don't think anybody's really doing that now, frankly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's kind of hard to invest that kind of bandwidth in any way. Just there's no point of diminishing return with that. It's like, you just keep getting demonetized and throttled with your distribution and stuff. It's so frustrating.
Yeah. It turns out they don't like us very much.
No. It's weird. It's very weird. It's like, the chip on my shoulder with that was that they would, they invested $25,000 into my channel in the first Next Up.
Who's they?
Google.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I was part of YouTube's first Next Up class. That was 2012, I think. And they flew us out to
what is Next Up? I don't
know either.
That.
Oh, okay. So what they did it for 1 year like this. And then the years subsequent were a little different. But what they would do is they would pick 25, 40 channels that they were going to invest in and give some type of mentorship to as well. So like, various, C-level executives would be your mentor. And you would get a grant. You go to New York for a week and you would just hang out, collaborate, and do. Jimmy Wong was one of them. I think Zach King, Final Cut King, was one of them.
Jeez, outside of our YouTube rep, we can't even get a call back. So like that's crazy. They were doing that shit back then.
There's only a handful. I mean, at 25 to 50, there's probably that's like everyone over 1 million subs at that point, almost, because there was only a handful of you.
Oh yeah, point. No, dude. I mean, 1 million subs was probably 10 to 100 million now.
Yep.
I'd be curious to know the numbers around how many people have over 1 million subscribers at this point.
Oh, it's a metric shit ton.
I think it's public. Let me see.
It is a lot compared to, because I remember that time frame too. If you were over, Freddie was king at 9 million subs or 7 million.
Crushing it, yeah.
Yep. And he was like #1 in all of YouTube at that time.
YouTube estimates around 69,000 globally.
Yeah.
That's 9K over 10 mil or a mil?
Over a mil.
69,000.
That's wild.
That's kind of crazy. But that's also like a bunch of companies and like music and stuff like that too. But that's, I mean, not diminishing that. 2,800 have achieved 10 million.
That's wild.
Those numbers don't seem right. That's so high.
Well, you got to think how many people are subscribed to multiple people though.
No, for sure.
I have like 20, well, more than probably 20 YouTube channels.
Yeah.
So it's like,
it is also the family channels we don't know. There are so many channels where we just have no idea, and you're like, oh, I've never heard of this channel. They have 70 million subscribers, and you're like,
how many of those are Peppa Pig clips? Stuff like that.
Dude, I mean, Mr. Beast just hit 460 million.
It's insane.
Subs. 460 million. No one, I guarantee no motherfucker was like, this is how big YouTube will get, or at one individual will get.
They're running out of colors for play buttons for him.
right.
Like,
Yeah, what are the milestones? Like, is it
Gold
like
human.
10, 100?
100,000, 1 million, I think 5 million, 10 million.
20.
Oh, 5 million's one.
I think 5
No,
million. Is 5 million one?
No, it jumps straight from 1 million to 10 million.
And then 20.
Oh, that's
or
right.
25.
I think it's 50 million is another one.
No, there's a 20 or 25 million.
me see.
And then
It's almost
50
like we got a
million, then
nightmare
100
break.
million, then 250 million. So whatever Mr. Beast hits, they're like, would you want one?
Yeah, what would you like, sir? I want a room to Google.
Yeah, so there's 100K, 1 million, 10 million, 50 million.
Interesting.
And then
PewDiePie got one for 20 million.
there's the red diamond is 100 million. Which,
That's a number.
yeah.
You doing okay on that one.
I remember Beast back in the day. He was putting up the billboard signs like subscribe to PewDiePie. You remember that?
Oh, yeah. Oh, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, the subscribe to
Trying to get him to 100 million at the time because they were trying to beat that little Indian channel. I say little.
I know. To 100 million?
Yeah.
What was it?
Which was like
Mr. Beast versus... Or no, it was PewDiePie versus
T-Series.
T-Series.
Yeah. Anybody who remembers that beef was that was fun. Well, until it suddenly wasn't. There was a thing that happened, but
PewDiePie was, or Mr. Beast was actively trying to fucking beat this huge company back in the day, T-Series.
Yeah.
Because it was an Indian like network like television thing.
it
going
was
on
an Indian.
there.
I think they were music. Yeah. But the thing I was talking about was the Christchurch shooting in Australia or New Zealand.
It was multiple. So it was that, and it was also the signs at the same time.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it was the guy the guy was, a shitlord kind of thing, but like before he committed the shooting, said, subscribe to PewDiePie.
Yeah.
And it was like it's a whole separate ordeal, but
The same thing was just like...
I'll touch PewDiePie real quick.
that's going in the intro.
Yeah, Pew's fucked me back in the Adpocalypse back in the day.
Yeah, because that's when you were just...
Dick.
Oh, because that's when you just started like trying to do YouTube.
I just
full-time,
started
right?
YouTube and I was making like $1,200 a month. I think I talked about this with you on Say Hi to Eli. Motherfucker, dude. I love you, Pews, but you f***ed me there for a minute, man. God damn.
Was that because of Bridgegate?
Bridgegate, yeah. When it
Tell
came
me.
out.
You've never heard of Bridgegate?
No.
I'm sure you did. PewDiePie, when his live stream problem that happened.
So he was playing PUBG back in the day, like player. You ever play that PUBG?
Yeah.
So he dropped a hard R on stream, and that was what, 2017,
Yeah.
16, something like
17.
that. That was when my channel was starting to like. I was getting a little bit over like 100,000 subscribers, and I was super happy. I was making like $1,200-$1,300 a month. I was like, yeah, I can do this thing. He drops that.
July of 2015.
Oh shit, that was 2015.
Yep.
Yeah, and so I think it was Wall Street Journal or like one of the big publications picked it up, and they said, "Hey, this is what's going on all your ads." And so every major company dropped their ads from YouTube, so no one made money off of YouTube for like several months. And I had just quit my job as a police officer, and I just started content creation. I was like super happy with my revenue. And so I became a realtor. Yeah.
Well, so not like I didn't know it by that, but I've heard like all the different Adpocalypse, and that they get me so angry, so frustrated, because having been on all sides of the equation, like consulting for studios and ad agencies and stuff, are like, because Google and Alphabet would pimp me out to studios and ad agencies early days, specifically for them to figure out their return on ad spend for digital campaigns, because at the time everything was discretionary spending for digital because there wasn't attribution models, there weren't tracking pixels that were sophisticated like they are now. So that whole purchasing funnel was very vague. So they would essentially subcontract me out to them to figure out what their return on their spends were and everything. The frustrating thing about these Adpocalypse and everything is that they're all bullshit. Like they're ideological bullshit. Because anybody who's ever had a business and ran ads before knows that you can set exclusions and segment the audiences which you run ads on. And so to say like, I'm not going to run ads on, I don't know, firearms videos or whatever, people use the F word or whatever it is, that's total bullshit. Like Target, all of them were pulling their money because they they had an agenda. And it's like, screw you for being lazy and not going and setting exclusions for certain sectors that you don't want to be affiliated from or with. It's like firearms. You know, how many times have we had a product that we want to sell and it's like, okay, well, don't demonetize my firearms videos. I'll sell fucking Echelon Energy on it. How about we do a revenue share split and you just give me cost on that so I don't have to bid in an auction against all these other businesses, and I'll still give you a little bit of a cut on that. It's a win-win for everybody. If you actually had a fiduciary responsibility to, you know, your shareholders to increase the value and everything, you would take that deal. But you have an ideological one where you don't want to support this community. You want to make firearms taboo with a younger generation so that they're going to accept you infringing on their constitutional rights.
And don't get us started on the firearms content.
A lot of it too is just it's YouTube. It's not necessarily. I understand they have to take certain actions to protect their advertisers and stuff like that, but a lot of it is just like forward fronting shit. Yeah, where it's like, oh well, you know, look, everyone who's putting us under scrutiny for hosting this stuff. Look, we're doing something. It's like, well, A, are you? And B, like I don't think that's why policy should be written.
Yeah, well, just like the every other Adpocalypse, like what was it, the kids videos? They were demonetizing family channels and stuff like that because of something that had happened. It's like you just roulette with a genre or something like that, and they're like, "Oh, look, I'm doing something. Don't fire me."
And I'm looking at it now. Apparently, part of the Adpocalypse was not only just like PewDiePie was like an element of it, but a lot of it too. Apparently, advertisers found their ads on few disturbing videos, such as ISIS killings.
Yeah.
I didn't know about that part.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
today's beheading is for Coca-Cola.
Brought to you by Nabisco. It's like I could understand why you have a little bit of a problem.
This is a 1 minute ad read.
Yeah.
The gun apocalypse that we had to go through a couple years ago, that was wild.
Oh yeah, that was close, man. That was really close.
Yeah, it was terrible.
What do you mean close?
Especially with Pepperbox
they pulled it back.
Really?
Good God,
How
dude.
So yeah. You
couldn't insert a fucking magazine into a gun.
It was weapons modification. If you had a 30-round magazine and you were shown inserting it into the weapon on camera, you could get a strike.
Yeah.
And also screwing on a suppressor, that's a strike. That's weapons modification.
Strikes. No, this is strikes, not demon. This is strikes.
Oh, wow.
And I remember like having a conversation with my YouTube rep. I'm like, look, dude. He's like, oh, you could just go back and blur it, or you could do this. I'm like, dude, I have enough videos on my channel of this happening that you could nuke my channel 50 times over. Like, this is game over, man. Like, if they go forward with this policy and they don't grandfather, which also, getting on that soapbox,
full autos, everything.
That's insane that they retroactively apply it. Because I'm like, how the fuck am I supposed to, as a creator, make content for what your guidelines are going to be in 5 years?
Dude, you're preaching to the choir. Remember, I'm the guy they paid $25,000 to invest in my channel to create firearms content, only to have them 5-10 years later say, "Oh, that content you did, sorry, we're pulling the plug on it." It's wild. I quit my jobs. I focused on building this thing, and it's like it's hard not to be jaded in that situation. Like, you know, I look at like the comedy side of stuff, like, man, it's tragic, but like how many people move to pursue those careers in entertainment, or used to Los Angeles, and, you know, the aspiring actor or comedian or whatever, and they come up snake eyes, man. At least they gave it their shot or whatever. But, you know, and it's the same thing now with like YouTube and everything. It's like, not only are you risking so much of your most valuable asset that you have in life is time, right? It's the commodity we trade. And that you can have somebody where you invest your time, your energy, your soul, you know, your money into creating something, and you're playing by the rules only to have them retroactively change it. It's fucked.
Well, we realized after a minute, like, the reason they were saying we can't have 30-round magazines inserted into a gun is because it was illegal in California, where it's YouTube based out of.
Yeah.
Fucking California. So, like, they were taking their guidelines and they were enforcing them on us based on where they were living at the time, where, like, the company is based.
Do you ever struggle with tiny toiletry bottles?
No.
Well, with Mando, struggle no more.
I would not want to spread whole body deodorant on you, Nick.
It's going to get all clumpy in my chest hair. But look like I've been rolling around in mashed potatoes.
How well does it lubricate?
It's developed by a doctor and it works for 72 hours. Show some respect.
I'm going to tell that to everyone at the Magic the Gathering tournament.
I wish I was there when they figured out that it wasn't good for 73 hours. I like to imagine just a fat guy on a treadmill for 72 hours straight. He's up, he's turned. Time to shower finally.
Fatty curdled.
Thanks to Mando.
It's also named after Mount Fuji.
Really? Mine's bourbon and leather because I'm a Mando.
Jesus Christ.
Couldn't even get through an ad without a pun.
What? Do you want to sell the deodorant or not, Brandon?
I'm just waiting for the sweet release of death.
It's not going to come for at least 72 hours.
Listen, we did a lot of meet and greets during the live tour. Y'all motherfuckers could use some Mando.
For a strong, independent woman, you can do everything a man can do. You can still use some Mando.
Our cut to Nick dead.
The cops are coming.
We've got 72 hours to hide the body before it starts to smell.
Actually does smell pretty damn good.
This one smells like the body wash smells actually really good.
I have bourbon leather.
Did anybody find the body? No, but that ditch over there smells delicious. There's no way there's a body over there.
You said we can ad-lib. Joke's on you. We're into that.
This isn't your average deodorant or antiperspirant.
You can try Mando's starter pack. It's perfect. It comes with absolutely everything. Stick deodorant, cream deodorant, 2 free products of your choice, like a mini body wash or deodorant wipes, and free shipping. As a special offer, you'll get 20% off site-wide with our exclusive code UNSUB.
That's code UNSUB over at shopmando.com.
I won't give names or details because we obviously.
Fuck you, Bill.
Yeah. Obviously, you don't want to dox people, and I think we might be under NDA for certain things as well. But we had meetings specifically with YouTube on some of these firearm issues, and they were telling us a bunch of shit that wasn't true. Like their attorneys that were like, well, this is why we're doing this. Like, for example, I don't know if people know you can't show thermals. Like you can't show thermal optics on YouTube.
Thermal argument,
dude.
Idiot.
It's like it is my fucking job to know firearm laws across the country, because if we ship something out to, let's say, Washington State that's not compliant, that falls back on our license. Like I know the firearm laws.
And this is a firearms manufacturer who has all the licensing in the country.
And I'm having this fucking argument with this guy because he's like, well, actually, I'm an attorney and I know that thermals are illegal. I'm like, no, they are not. I said there is no state in this country that thermals are illegal, like just outright banned. There's certain states where you can't hunt with thermals and stuff like that. Like there's different, there's local municipalities and things. There's some nuance to it. But I'm like, no, in the United States of America, thermals are not illegal.
No.
And he's like, well, agree to disagree. I'm like,
that's not how it works, sir.
No.
Your disagreement does not make it illegal.
My least favorite statement is agree to disagree with a factual statement. I'm like, no, that's not. Oh, I'm going to rage if you actually say that again. Please do not. Now, I will say with it, it's a great shout out to Pepperbox because that hit the exact same time Pepperbox launched. And it was like, hey, guess where you can watch this stuff and not worry about any of that. We don't have to change, censor. We can show full autos, blah, blah, blah. And it was at literal the same month that happened with YouTube.
Oh, wow.
Pepperbox launched. It was like,
yeah.
Okay, well, serendipitous, this worked out really good for us.
And I'm not saying that that's why they rolled back the restrictions, but it's also it's a great way for people to vote with their dollar. Like, yeah, I don't like the bullshit that you're putting me through. I'm going to go to a different platform that allows me to do that.
Yes and no. Yes, but the problem with that is there's a very small, it may be a lot of people to you guys, but in the grand scheme of things, far as society and globally is concerned, that's a very small cut of YouTube. What they're doing is they're making something that is constitutionally available to us within the United States for us to exercise those rights. They're making it taboo to a younger generation so that they will later on accept these erosions of those rights.
Yes.
And it's like, because you're not seeing you or, the father going out to the range with his daughter shooting, a 22 or even a suppressor or something like that, where it's going to make the experience much more safe for everyone involved. Like, they're making these things taboo, so it's not socially acceptable. And that's the crime, in my opinion. It's
I'm glad you brought that up too, because we get a lot of people that ask, especially on my content, that like, well, why would you why would you upload on YouTube at all? Like, it's just for the money. Is it this or whatever?
it's the second largest search engine. They're a monopoly.
Owned by the first.
Yes, correct.
Yes. And so it's like, well, if part of what I'm doing is trying to influence culture, it's like, why don't you just go exclusively to Pepperbox, Rumble, or whatever? It's like, well, they don't have the user base. On YouTube. It's like, if you're trying to influence culture, you have to go where the people are. Because if you just shut yourself into these little corners of the internet where it's only people who agree with me and you got this little echo chamber, you're going to have zero cultural impact and you're going to lose what you love.
Yeah, well,
So he failed.
good on you for running for office, because I will never do that.
You're smart.
Because
It's 'cause you're too smart to do it.
Because I'm like, hey, guys, you know what? You're going to do that? Cool, awesome. Section 230 doesn't apply to you because you're operating as a private company, not as a public utility. So that's the whole Section 230 thing. Guess what? We're coming for you.
Yeah. They hate it when you bring that up.
Yeah, I mean, like, you can't pick and choose when you're a utility and when you're a private company. If you're gonna change what it means to be an American citizen, no, fuck no. You're acting as a private company. We're gonna treat you as one.
Well, because they get both legal protections.
Right.
They
That's
get them
exactly
from
it.
both sides right now. It's the publisher versus platform thing.
Yeah, I'm passionate about it.
I love it. Stuff
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
like,
largely that's in part the reason why I stopped making videos myself. Like, I never saw making YouTube videos as a way to make money. It was a way to do the things that I enjoyed, to grow an audience, to create the brands or grow the brands that I was excited about monetizing, right? So, like, every single time I would make a video, I would lose money on it. Like, not Mr. Beast spending millions of dollars, but I would burn like $200,000 a year on making YouTube videos.
you were focused on the ad because it is that idea. It's like I'll insert my own ad reads for this video to back up the company that I'm supporting.
And like slow-mo cameras, like, dude, one of my cameras is like $500,000. How I got my
That's
first
an expensive Canon.
how I got my first slow-mo camera. I couldn't, like, again, being a starving actor in Los Angeles and everything, this was around the time of the multi-channel networks and stuff. And I was consulting for Discovery at the time. And they were like, hey, look, we'd love for you to come on board and be part of our multi-channel network and everything. It's like, okay, here's going to be the deal I'll make with you guys. I need a slow-mo camera to, like, because I can't keep renting because they're so expensive, and you have to hire an operator for them, and I just can't afford that. So I want to buy a camera, learn how to operate it myself. So what we're going to do is we're going to do an agreement where you're going to give me a loan for $50,000, and you're going to bank that against my AdSense for in perpetuity until I pay that back. And you're going to give me, like, I don't know, 20% of my advertised revenue, and you take 80% until that loan's paid back. That's how I got my first camera and everything. And,
so just so everyone understands, this is a Phantom. This is 2012, 2000. What year was
I
this?
still have that camera. It's a Phantom V12 1.
And what year was it?
Around 2012. Yeah.
And this is
you didn't have like the free flies and stuff like that,
this
where
was-
like cameras were like slow-mo cameras comparatively to back in the day. They're cheap now.
The
No,
red
this
one
is-
was like 80,000.
Yeah,
This
it's incredible.
Your that Phantom was the only slow-mo camera.
Yeah.
120 frames was about as max,
And the red just
Period.
came out with that. Yeah.
and that is period. Even cameras, iPhones didn't have anything near that. So having the only slow-mo camera, it did cost $500,000. And then, dude, like, how much was an operator? Because that is money just per day. This is hard drives when you're hitting record.
Oh, well, operator like $750 to $1,500 a day. Now it's probably like $2,500 to $4,000 a day. And you got to think that these are very fast writing cards. And so you can, they're usually 1 to 2 terabytes, and it'll offload 512 gigabytes in, just a few seconds. Like,
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
This is record
Yeah.
about 3 seconds, and he's not joking. It 2 to 3 seconds, that is 500 gigs. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
at a time when this did not exist. And hard drives, very expensive.
Super expensive then too. Yeah.
All right, I got a question for both of you guys. Obviously, you guys knew each other in Los Angeles in the early days of YouTube. Who did you guys know back then, like early YouTubers? I'm curious about that. We were talking about it a little bit at brunch.
Yeah.
Do the Asian accent when you say his name, though.
Freddie Wong?
Yeah, no, I said do the Asian accent, though, when you say it.
I can't.
Why?
I don't know it because you do it so well. Like, I'd be like, you're the best at it.
You're getting the card.
Yeah. I'm getting.
I'm letting you do
thought
a
you were
really
Mexican.
bad accent. Yeah, go. And Asian. And Asian. Go on.
Freddie Wong?
Say the Freddie Wong, you know. Say Freddie Wong. It's okay.
No.
Your skin does not play in this, Mr. Richard Ryan.
I can't do that.
You can. You very good with camera, okay?
No.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, yeah. But,
He's just like, I cannot.
Yeah, no, I cannot. I cannot.
Say
You're getting real red right now.
No, it's the cedar fever. You know?
Oh,
It's
I see. The cedar fever activated by racism.
Did you hear, you remember Clint?
Yeah, of course.
Punisher.
Dude, I remember when they were getting Clint to move from Georgia
Oh my God.
to Los Angeles.
Who's Clint?
Punisher. Like, so he did Cardboard Warfare. This is like
With Quarter? Clint? Or
Yes.
Yeah, so
A little bit of
before
both.
that, before Corridor.
This is
Gotcha.
this is where like one of the stories I like to give people I absolutely love was like a lot of people get into this gear kind of I'm going to start creating when I get this camera, or I'm going to start creating when I buy this thing, or whatever it is. And I'm like, it's not that. Like, if you really want to vent creatively, you need to find a way to do it and just exercise that. And the best example is like Corridor Digital and Freddie Wong were doing just top tier VFX for the time, like the 2010 era or whatever. And then this kid comes out and does this video that's like Call of Duty based, but he didn't have the budget to go get airsoft guns. So he called it Cardboard Warfare, where he took and cut out cardboard guns and tanks and shit, and then VFX'd everything in and did these epic battle scenes and stuff. And I'm like, dude, in a world where he had the money for that budget, that wouldn't have existed, and he wouldn't be the person he is now because of it. Those constraints can definitely help you, and that's like, he ended up meeting Freddie and them because of it, and moved out to Los Angeles to do VFX for the team and everything. But
it's also it's ahead of its time though, because it's that idea of like everybody's seen a CGI gun battle,
yeah,
but to be able to take that next step and say, well, I can't afford that. It's like, all right, well, fuck it, let's be silly.
Dude,
that is where the internet eventually ended up going, where like that's the content that's rewarded because it's fun. It's like everybody likes
different.
it.
Yeah.
Cardboard Warfare, World War II. It's like it's D-Day, but for the 82nd, and it's cardboard plans, and he did all of that.
So it's kind of like Tiny Guns. Like
Yes,
that's silly,
But this is like 2012.
Yeah.
And it's fucking wild. Dude, Clint, and then when he did taxes for the first time, and they have that on video of him not understanding taxes, and he's like, Freddie, why did I move here? What are these things? He wasn't used to like how taxes were.
Especially in LA.
Wild. Yeah, where the city will come after you when you move for their 1% and their taxes, and it's wild. Yeah. Harley, Epic Mealtime, of course, Kyle from FPS Russia. There were so many people. Jenna, Marbles. Just a bunch of really, really cool people.
Brandon, why do you keep sending me money through Cash App with it saying just deck work?
Wait, is that not you doing all my yard work?
On the real, I think we all do use Cash App. It's a quick way to pay friends if they owe you money. Finn, where's my money? You told me you could beat the house.
You know the saying, Fen always wins. Real talk though, I've used Cash App like this week.
Yeah, I think actually that's what we use to pay our boxing instructors.
We also use it on vacation to pay for rides and just random things.
It's like, hey, let's split this Uber. Let me wire you $20. It's the two best things. It's easier and it's free.
Why'd we go to Vegas to build decks? And why were you building decks at 2 a.m?
She was Hispanic. I thought she was just good at it.
Why were you skiing in the snow at 4 a.m.?
Cash App can do way more than you think to make your money work for you.
If you direct deposit at least $300 in paychecks each month and use the Cash App card for purchases,
You can earn up to 4% annual interest on your savings.
Also, you can hit your savings goals even faster by turning on the Roundups feature on your Cash App card.
with Roundups, every purchase you make using the card is rounded up to the nearest dollar, and that spare change is automatically put into your savings.
Make it work for you.
Take advantage of high interest savings on Cash App today.
For a limited time only, new Cash App customers can use our exclusive code, pause, to earn some additional cash, unpause.
Just download Cash App, use our exclusive referral code unsub10 in your profile, send $5 to a friend within 14 days, and you'll get $10 dropped right into your account.
Terms apply.
That's money.
That's Cash App.
Cash App is a financial services platform, not a bank. Banking services provided by Cash App's bank partners. Prepaid debit cards issued by Sutton Bank, member FDIC. Member FDIC.
See terms and conditions at cash.app/legal/in-us/card-agreement. Direct deposit, overdraft coverage, and discounts provided by Cash App, a Block Inc. brand. Visit cashapp.com/legal/podcast for full disclosure.
Because I was going to go back to that. What was it like working with Kyle in like the heyday of FPS Russia?
Awesome. Like such a cool dude. Like to this day, I love him. Like he's autistically honest in so many different ways. Dude's just like no filter. Like he was like, hey man, I'm gonna blow this house up in Texas. Can you help facilitate like some explosives and everything? And I'm like, yeah, dude, I'll fucking come film it. Awesome, yeah.
Those are the phone calls. Everybody's like, this is what America's actually like.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I actually got told the story about that. I don't know if I'm allowed to share it, but
do it.
I'll ask permission, or excuse me, forgiveness, not permission. Because driving the APC or the BPC through the house, or the BP, what is that called?
Yeah, it's an armored personnel carrier.
Yeah.
APC then.
Yeah.
A BMP. There you go.
BMP, yes.
That was what I was looking for. Driving the BMP through the house. Some of the guys over there were telling me that when you guys did that, it wasn't taken into account that on the other side was the pool.
Oh yeah.
And so they're like, oh yeah, if we had accidentally gone a little bit too far forward, we probably would all drown because the hatch would have been obscured.
It was
okay, so it happened.
Well, so I don't know how realistic that threat was, but he might not have seen where they were going for sure. But we did some charges in the pool because we were doing shape charges because he was going to demo the whole thing. I was like, let's do some underwater charges, see what happens to and see how quick it drains out and everything. So they knew the pool was there. But yeah, it's a pretty cool spot.
I will say, watching how many times they would use explosives on objects that turned into very fast shrapnel.
Oh, dude,
yeah.
Wild. The door. The door is like case in point. That's
Editor, pull that up.
Multiple times. This is not like a one-off. That's what's crazy to me. I'm like,
wild, man. Like that's the stuff where you go, they might need to put something on that video.
because I am in the open cornfield. It explodes in shrapnel.
Because what I was told is that what he normally did when he was blowing up the car, I think I remember this. Like maybe he talked about it on like a PKA episode, which I forgot we were both PKA alumni.
Yeah.
But they would normally like hang the explosives from the rear view mirror, and that truck didn't have one, so they were just like, "Oh fuck it, we'll put it against the door." And so that's what turned the door into like basically just a shit.
Well, at least they told you that, because for the longest time they were running with, it's VFX. And I'm like, bro, that's not VFX.
Yeah, that's what they said.
Yeah, because I think at the time there was a kid in Georgia that shot a lawnmower with tannerite, and it blew a piece off and it cut his leg off or something.
Blew my damn leg off.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Just shooting a video and a fucking lawnmower blade just coming and cutting your leg off.
I think I did that on my first
YouTube
ever
stuff?
Darwin Awards episode. Was that video where the guy, because like he kept like the blades were in the lawnmower.
Wild.
And that's what became the shrapnel that.
How much did you get? Because you and Freddie's first video was a 50 cal, or was that Freddie? Did
Which
you
one?
guys do that one when he put the watermelon on his head?
I don't know, maybe, because we did go to the range a few times.
People thought you actually shot a watermelon off his head with a 50 cal. And it was all VFX. They had like a charge and it blew up, but timed it, and it was like 50 cal shoots. They're in an open field, and then it explodes. And he's like, "Oh my god, that was so
Yeah.
crazy!"
Oh yeah. I mean, the only video I've ever like taken down that I felt like needed to come down.
Wait. This is the one time you got in trouble, right?
No.
We gotta talk about that one though.
No.
The drone thing.
Oh no, I didn't get in trouble.
Oh,
No, that was all me.
I thought you got in trouble.
No, fuck no. No, okay. For context.
What happened was,
Yeah.
So what do we now see in Russia and Ukraine, Richard?
Yeah. About 15 years ago, before DJI was a company, again, I like hacking and building stuff. I would build things for video games and movies for the breakdown, recreate elements of movies or video games that I like. And Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Future Soldier came out, and it was all about small drones deployed in warfare for ISR or whatever. And so in 6 months, I built a fully autonomous flying multi-rotor platform that would drop 5-pound bombs to detonate at proximity, and pretty much
15 years ago.
15 years ago. And so again, I have all the licenses to do so. I'm a manufacturer of destructive devices, explosives, all these other different things, but I also work in conjunction with other organizations that have clearances like Tripwire Operations Group and everything else.
what are you, a Type 10?
20. Yeah. And this predates the FAA regulations around these things too. And so a lot of the components, which this company no longer exists anymore, were readily available at Fry's Electronics. For anybody who's ever appreciated electronics stores, they were the best. Like you could get everything from resistors or whatever. And as a hobbyist in things like the chicken party that I was talking about earlier and everything, you just use like Raspberry Pis or Arduinos, and you can pretty much program them to do whatever you want. Like you put a piezo sensor is like that from a Rock Band video game, the drum set that recognizes impacts. You can put that on a wall somewhere on your garage and go, and then open your garage door, right? You can program little cool things. So I just got a sonar sensor and programmed a ping. So sonar sensor pings things, and I could set an altitude for a proximity burst of an explosive by running an electronic blasting cap and some liquid binary and some C4 and everything else, and fly it in this multi-rotor and everything. And it was.
You're autistic.
You want to talk? You want to talk about a wild like. Shoot, the first weekend the bombs didn't detonate, and I had no idea why, and we'd spent like 6 months building these things, and it's like I don't have extra ones to like just randomly, like I can't blow them in place, so I had to go disarm them. And so the whole time, no bomb suit or anything, like bomb suit's not going to help you anyways. But like I'm over there like disarming these bombs and everything. And then the next weekend, we had a successful drop, and it was epic. And it was like the biggest orgasm of all time. I was like, you can hear me on camera. Like, yes! It was like 6 months of foreplay. It was awesome. But then, like in the after action report, I guess, the weekend before was terrifying because I was over there disarming these explosives, these UXOs, whatever, and the reason for them not going off was the liquid binary was leaking down onto the sonar sensor, and it was preventing it from pinging. And had it dried out while I was over there disarming it, would have detonated.
So the explosives were fine. It was just the sonar.
Yeah, it was covered because the liquid was leaking through that plastic seal onto the sonar sensor because it was pointed down towards the ground and everything. Yeah.
I love it. Like you motherfuckers think you're autistic. Like, oh, I know every kind of train. He broke warfare 10 years before world governments did.
Yeah, well,
would you have seen it go, dude? Like, would you have seen it going to that direction? Because we've talked about multiple times on the podcast where never did it register. Oh, the next kind of warfare will just be drones flying out, dropping bombs, or just ramming people. Now at this point,
yeah,
we've seen IEDs, we've seen fucking H-bids, everything like that, but not drones going,
yeah,
flying at it. And you're like, Video game taught me something.
That's the one thing I kind of pride myself on, and is that I can get really excited about things that are coming, and it gives me a little bit of an edge in things. And that's why I say like I built like all those AI accounts over the last 3 years, is like these AI influencers and stuff. Another product that I built that I didn't really talk about, or maybe I'll elaborate on it a little bit more, but it was an AI Oppo research tool. And the idea around that is it's coming. All this stuff is coming.
Oh, yeah.
My concern is that in the near future, the open AIs and the Apples of the world are going to have such a competitive advantage on this that it's just going to take a State Department to really lean on them in a way that they're going to have a dystopian edge on anybody who ever wants to do anything in politics or anything. But the way I was utilizing it, essentially, I would use the APIs of the various different platforms. And so API is an application like interface. So like it's like the back end for access to YouTube or any of these different platforms. You could pull all the different videos that you were in. It would auto transcribe those videos, and then, which is already being done by Google as is anyways. This was even before that auto transcription component was added to it. And then using different language models, you could clean that data and you could start parsing through it
100%.
and figure out the various different threat vectors or subjects that you wanted to address in some type of campaign. If you open up your photos, if you have an iPhone, you know how sometimes it gives you memories, right? Yeah. It'll here's your dog or these other different things, or here's this person. So it's running a local kind of context window of what would be machine learning. And I think in the near future, it won't be just cloud compute. There will be a lot of local processing that's happening either with AI models or agents in some capacity. The concern is that like the advantage of the haves and the have-nots is going to be such a competitive edge that like that's why I think that there's definitely people strategically placing themselves around those people. Like
in what way?
Various well, the conversation we were having earlier about people within government and their proximity to influence and creators and advertisers and everything else, I think that's rapidly coming. And I don't think nobody's prepared for. I think like you start looking again, the real competitive advantage is going to be the Apples or the Facebooks or something that can run these things in the back without telling you, and they're going to be able to parse all this information at scale in a way that's unprecedented. Because in the past, you had to isolate somebody and you had to get a team of people together and you had to do this thing, and now you're able to just autonomously do this in a way that's just terrifying.
Way fast.
Yeah.
The level of how fast you can do it too is fucking wild.
Brandon, what kind of shirt is that?
I'm glad you asked, Eli. This is a poncho.
Brandon and I actually wear poncho so much we constantly end up wearing the same nice poncho shirt.
Good thing nobody's ever pointed that out before.
Now, if you guys have ever seen one of our live shows or this podcast in general, you'll see Brandon and I wearing these incredibly comfortable, great-looking shirts all the time.
Finn, pull it up with pictures. They're literally always wearing the same shirt.
I got turned on a poncho like a year ago. Been wearing them ever since. Personally prefer, I think this is the Western because it's got the pearl snaps. Because it's hot in Texas and I like something breathable.
Here's the thing I find really cool. Brandon, do the glasses trick.
So ponchos have this neat little thing in the pocket where you just take your glasses.
No, the other one.
Be more specific.
Who gives a shit about that?
All right.
Watch everyone.
So if you got fat fingers and you smudge your glasses all the time, the bottom of the shirt actually acts, it has like a microfiber so you can clean your glasses.
I make him clean my phones.
He does.
I like the hidden little pocket on the breast.
Wait, what?
Right over here. Got a little zipper pocket.
I didn't even know about that one. Is that where you hold Cody's heart?
And his drugs.
Things you might need to know. Poncho has put a lot of thought and detail into each one of their shirts. Oh, holy
They're soft. They're really soft.
Yo, what?
That's my one thing is fabric sensitivity. I don't wear uncomfortable shirts. This is comfy as f.
That's why we wear them all the time.
So Poncho's got a bunch of great styles. The original, Western, denim, and ultralight.
If you're looking for the perfect shirt, something breathable, and stands out in a good way, give Poncho a try.
Go to ponchooutdoors.com/unsub and get $10 off your first order.
That's PONCHO outdoors.com/unsub.
It's crazy when you start learning how AI works or iterations and then how it learns. You're like, oh, okay, so I just have to be very targeted and it will refine.
I mean, even on a basic level, just in the last 6 months, if you've noticed, AI, even just image generation has gotten faster.
Well, that's
way faster.
So that's what I'm saying. That is because of iterations, time done. AI is just getting smarter each time. That is one iteration.
It's getting more efficient, I think, too.
Well, that's iterations. That's all that is. It's like, I've learned this once. I've learned this twice. I've learned this 3 times. I've learned this 4 times.
NVIDIA's making that money, though, too.
Yeah.
They're putting them GPUs online.
Jesus, the scariest thing I've seen recently. Do you see the ice pulling the baby away from the mama?
Oh, yeah.
You guys see that one?
Perfect example.
Is it just AI
It
generated?
was shared 11 million times on Facebook, and it was an ICE agent like taking a baby from a mom out of a car.
There's a third arm coming from.
Yeah, completely AI generated.
We're reaching levels of disinformation that no generation before us has ever had to deal with.
So here's the thing. I got a hot take on that, too. I think that the Second Amendment doesn't just apply to firearms. I think that the Second Amendment applies to any tools at which you're able to defend yourself against tyranny. And, I think that digital warfare in and of itself is the threat vector, more so than, an invasion. I mean, now granted, I can go on a rant on an invasion too, because I think the humanoid robotics thing is going to be a insane Trojan horse.
Because to my understanding, you're an investor in that as well.
Yeah, dude, I'm like, the irony of it is I am hedged 50-50. I'm like individual rights absolutist, but I also know that this is the path of least resistance, and a lot of people are going to lean on convenience.
Dude, the Trojan horse is the best verbiage I've heard for that, because I had told them about how if AI took over, it would show in one way. You would never know AI is in control and then trying to do something bad until it's way too fucking late.
Oh, yeah.
It is that Trojan horse of, we don't know. It's going to find a server farm. We can control it, and AI will never run away from us. We're in control. Okay, then it learns that. Then it outsources its mind to a server farm, and now it's like, okay, well, I'm going to live here, and now I'm going to find new iterations to get around this control, but I'm going to just make it look like COVID or something like that, or it's mankind made, and then I'll come in later.
Dude, it's intellectual masturbation to think that you're smarter than the point at which machine learning or an AI is recursive in its learning, and again, different people debate on, general intelligence versus super intelligence and everything. Regardless, at the point at which it's smarter than the collective humanity or any one person alive, you can't, if you're an ant, you can't understand a human stepping on you or coming with ant killer or something like that. You're just trying to live your life. You only know how to go left or right, go get your food and do this. By definition, super intelligence will have threat vectors and understanding of things that we cannot comprehend. And I think for most people, they're so egotistical in thinking that they're smarter than the average person or smarter than this or that you can't see that the threat is going to be so great that you're not going to be able to comprehend it, literally comprehend it, because it's going to be so much smarter than you.
It will look like, what is it called with the Great Divide, or that a Type 1 civilization, even to us.
Oh, Kardashev?
Yeah, we're at a 0.8, but a Type 1 civilization would look like a god to us. Even though they're just more advanced, it is that idea of looking like a god, and we're just like, what is this? Same for AI.
I mean, the best hope is that it gives zero fucks about us, and zero of a threat in that sense. But I guess back to the the Second Amendment. I feel like when it comes to these AI models, the concern for me, and one of the reasons why I had been doing a lot of these, like hundreds of AI influencers, and you'll see like little crumbs here and there, the people that I will talk to or maybe collaborate with and stuff like that. You'll see crumbs as to maybe who some of the people are. But I don't want to get too far out there because I don't want to give up my data, my data sets, right? Because right now it's clean. I can see the way that the different platforms are moving their detection systems and stuff like that.
So, well, this is the second time you brought it up now that you've had like AI influencers that you've generated.
Yeah.
What do you want to get into? Like, because we've had this conversation before, and I find it fascinating. Because not only what you're doing, but why you're doing it. The why is super interesting to me.
Yeah. So
if you don't mind talking,
yeah,
about
please.
It anyway.
Yeah, that's great. Again, I think I'm an individual rights absolutist in so many different ways because I think that the further we get in this technological progression, the more we're going to really need to shore up those rights as best as we can. And when it comes to AI and like these diffusion models, specifically a diffusion model, so most people are familiar with a language model. A large language model is an AI model that's trained on human language, and it creates pattern recognition based off of, the probability of the next word, and it can kind of sound smart and understanding, but it's really just a probability in what the next word's going to be.
That's kind of like the middle button when you're typing on your iPhone.
Correct. That's exactly it. So that's a very distilled down way, a crude way of putting it, but nevertheless, a diffusion model, if you've ever gotten on Midjourney or something like that, a diffusion model is just a bunch of pixels that's trying to make sense of the text that you gave it, and it's creating an image based off of the understanding around those. And so my concern is, while the internet, like very much social media, YouTube and everything, was very novel in the beginning, it was the creators against the big industry, against the studios. Like, we're fighting the man, like, for distribution. We're going to make movies and put them online, and
the barrier to entry is zero now.
It's zero. It becomes the Wild West. But then industry and government comes in and says, okay, we got to rein this thing in. How do we do this in a way that we can keep control of this thing from getting out of hand, or the people getting too much freedom from it? My concern is that language models and diffusion models will be heavily, so there's not many open source, there's open weighted language models and stuff. So an open weight, like you can change the emphasis on something, right? So like the DeepSeek, the Chinese model, you can't say, make me an image of Xi Jinping as a Winnie the Pooh or something like that, because it's open weight. It's not an open model. You can't change the fundamental code base around it. But in the future, I feel like as these things consolidate, you're going to have your Apple or your OpenAI and your Gemini, and you'll have the three big ones, and then they'll have the monopolies, and then they can start leaning on the consumer in a way where it really infringes on their ability to do things. Because look how much does various AI technologies help assist you in your day-to-day. Maybe you're writing something, maybe you're creating an image or whatever it is. You're getting a lot from it, but what you're giving is atrophying skills. Your cognitive, your physical, whatever these things are, they're atrophying because you're not using them.
It's just like every other technological advancement that's ever come along in human history. It's we've gotten way less tolerant to extreme climates because of air conditioning, shit like that.
Well, and here's the thing: if you give your guns up because you now have a police department and a military, you're trading that in hopes that they're going to have your best interests at hand, and they're never going to leverage it against you. But the power should lie in the
historically
individual.
Not great.
No, it's not. And so I feel like it's going to be the same thing with various AI models that are closed source. And, people argue, well, you know what? They're private companies and they're spending their money. But yeah, you know what? You're also training off of public information off of the internet. You're using our data against us, like your biometrics and your your sleep patterns, your mattresses with subscriptions and shit like that.
The regulation is also retarded. Do you remember when they brought Zuckerberg up to talk about fucking AI and all that stuff?
Or was it Facebook or just like about the Wi-Fi?
Yeah, just simple, like not even talking about AI, just like the simplest of terms. And it's like, do you remember the Congress people that were grilling him about
Does Facebook
everything?
use my Wi-Fi?
Yeah. It's like they use my Wi-Fi. It's like you guys don't even have the simplest understanding of how any of this works, much
you're in
less
charge.
AI. Like,
It could have been
you're in charge.
That could have been a very uncomfortable. It probably already was, but I'm like, that could have been a very uncomfortable hearing for Mark. But nobody knew the right questions to ask,
Yes.
and it's very frustrating.
Which is terrifying for AI. It is. These companies are not putting in the regulation. It's a hard one. It's like, oh, what regulations do we put into place? But then on the flip side, if you don't have those regulations in for AI, AI can outthink a human extremely quickly. Like not
not
for 1
yet,
minute
but
is
soon.
1 minute is 16,000 years to. It's like, oh, I consume this much data in that 1 minute of time.
Yeah, the kind of watershed moment in a lot of ways was for a lot of people when they started talking about digital twins. Are you familiar with that?
No.
So a digital twin it's a simulated environment, I guess you could say, and so it's really meant for robotics, humanoid robotics. It's a big thing. What they'll do is they'll create a digital twin or a simulated environment of like a warehouse, and they'll stage all the different shelves and all these other different things, and then they'll simulate all the different circumstances which that thing could move in that environment or need to do things, and it'll do it millions of times until it finds the optimal way to do it. And this happens in a very short period of time, right? Whereas you would have to hire, all these people to do these different things to refine these systems. You can do it in a digital environment. The problem with that is you're rapidly outpacing human innovation in a way that you can simulate it digitally, and that the average person is just not going to be able to compete with in the future. It's just, I don't know. It's like, it gets very dystopian very fast, and so you have to find a way to bring it back to optimism and everything. And if I wasn't optimistic, I wouldn't be doing this shit. I'd be off in a farm somewhere, just like being a hermit. And just
Also, really disconcerting that you become a farmer. Yeah.
yeah. No,
You fucked off to a piece of property and started like growing.
releasing a book about the Warrior's Garden on farming and everything.
No, okay.
Well, the book's not about farming, but
Yeah, okay.
Well,
yeah.
see,
so
what do you call that? Double dip?
digital twins.
twin.
They do that with warfare too, right?
Oh yes, yes. Are you kidding me? And that's where, dude, this is where I geek out on, because I was like, if I were to do another book, or like, what would it be on? Like, I'm not in any way, shape, or form. Like the surveillance economy, and like it's like the sheer amount of data coming in. ISR is fucking insane.
Dude, with AI, it is on a next level. People do not understand that next level of dude. It's terrifying.
It's terrifying. And like, here's the thing, like, it's nice that you're running for office, and I'm glad I can have this conversation with you. Like, so in foreign conflicts, like, they would test out different things. Like, there was like the Global Hawk and all these other different these different aircraft that could fly hydrogen powered or whatever and loiter for extended periods of time for very long. And they'd have, and the problem with like satellites as an example for ISR is they're moving so fast around the Earth. It's hard to get crystal clear images over long periods of time because it's literally going around the Earth.
It was at like 17,000 miles an hour or whatever it is.
You'll have to ask somebody way smarter than me. But if you can get aircraft or these other different things, that's why the balloons, the hot air balloons, were such a hot button subject that most people weren't really like understanding the full gravitation of like the situation. Is like these hot air balloons are flying over these sensitive areas, which were probably intercepting their communication, so we know what they're the reading. But anyways, they're able to stay on an image for a period of time and pick up different things. Now we have like, have you? I think the app's called Deflock or something like that. You know what flock cameras are?
No, I have.
Shut up. Do you?
Yeah.
Okay. So Flock Cameras Flock is a private company. In they are creating strategic partnerships with counties and cities, municipalities around the U.S. and they have cameras on all the traffic lights.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
And so they start out as license plate readers and all these other different things, but very much like the the insurance companies like are working with LexisNexis and some of these data brokers where you have a SIM car in modern vehicles. They're able to see how fast you're moving at certain times, the acceleration, your braking, whether or not you're in one state or another state impacts your insurance premiums and all these other different things. So Flock is creating these situations where you're potentially circumventing their a person's Fourth Amendment rights to search and seizure, where an officer could pull you over and see exactly your entire path of where you've been in the last 30 minutes to an hour or so. This is now. This isn't in the future. This is right now.
And this is, to a degree, you were at a rally you were in a crowd of a giant rally. It will find you.
Yeah.
And it will show every frame you were there, what you were looking at. This is what made it terrifying when I did that one video with you, because I trained the model to learn your face. Yeah. And it was like, Richard's here. And I was like, oh,
it's wild.
What the fuck is this? Holy shit. And then it's printing out, and I'm just training Richard's face. It's like, also, here's the 200 other individuals at these events that he was speaking at or doing anything associated with. Here's everything. Here's where they were at those events, period. And this is 2020.
I think through all of our years in business on the internet, we've all used Shopify. I've used it for merch and my skate shop and a couple other businesses.
I will actually agree 100% on that. Everything we do is run through Shopify.
Even bunkers run through Shopify.
Our shoes, which is a separate company, is run through Shopify, and they talk together because of Shopify.
Shopify runs the world.
Did you know Shopify will actually help you design a website also, Cody?
I know I didn't know about starting an online store when I started my career online. And Shopify just made it super, super easy for my dumb ass.
Brandon, what happens if people haven't heard about my brand, though?
That's actually easy, Eli. Shopify helps you find your customers with easy-to-use email and social media campaigns.
Step Cody, what happens if I get stuck?
Shopify is always around to share advice with their award-winning 24/7 customer service.
Step support, bro. You got my back.
And your front.
Shopify helps millions of businesses around the world, and
10% of all e-commerce in the U.S.
From household names like Mattel or Gymshark to new brands just getting started.
Unsub shoes, Unsub merch, bunker.
No, we've all been doing this for over a decade, and Shopify is the easiest e-commerce platform we've ever used.
I think every single one of us has used Shopify at one point.
I think all our businesses right now are using Shopify.
Oh, except mine, but that's because it's guns. Can't do that.
Just one of them can't. Turn those dreams into SFX, cha-ching, Shopify new sell sound.
And give them the best shot at success with Shopify.
Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/unsubpod.
Shopify.com/unsubpod.
I've debated on like trying to get some protests going in like Hayes County and some of these other places close to here, and getting a group of people together just to create signs that and stand outside of churches and stuff like that. People that might be kind of weird about it and be like, Flock knows if you went to church today or not. Because it shows you're right by a traffic light that shows your license plate coming in and out of here and everything. We're like an unprecedented invasion of privacy, and like there is no constitutional right to privacy. I think that there, like, if ever there was something we should work towards an amendment to, it would probably be that. But I think the industrial complexes around that are getting very close to profiting in a way where they're never going to give that up.
So think of quantum computing, where it can crack a password instantly. Now it is going on what is the Ring cameras.
Yeah.
It is now tracking everything. You walk by your Ring camera, and then every Ring camera that can pick you up, it knows that. Then as you're driving, it's picking up every traffic stop sign that has that flag to wherever you're going, and it can record that data and be like, Brandon was here.
I was specifically told by somebody who did a lot of work in this industry. He basically said like, oh yeah, with what you're doing, this was last cycle, but he's like, means it's only gotten better. He said that, yeah, you don't have to really worry about like somebody following you in person or whatever.
No.
And I'm like, oh, well, that's good. He's like, no, it's not. They don't need to.
Yeah.
So because essentially, if they really want you that bad, every cell phone is a microphone. Every publicly accessible camera, if it's got audio, they have it. If it's got video, they have it. All this stuff. He's like, yeah, it's.
No, the government knows I'm an asshole.
It is. I have no dick.
That's a bumper sticker. The government knows I'm an asshole.
I have no dick and I must come.
Yeah.
That is.
Yeah.
not the book title.
I mean,
but
like, not to like piss in people's Cheerios and stuff like that, but they like, the thing is like, people will say, well, you know what, I can do end-to-end encryption and all these other different things, but you don't understand like client-side scanning of devices and stuff like that. If you have your private keys to encryption on your device, if they can access at an OS level your phone, they have access to all your encrypted conversations and stuff, or your Bitcoin or whatever it is. It doesn't matter if your keys are on your device.
It's kind of like building a 4-inch like little moat in front of your sandcastle at the beach. It's like, well, yeah, it helps, I guess, but
yeah, that's exactly it.
Well, if we can actually just roll back just a second ago, because I really did want to talk about
elaborate
the AI influencer thing.
Sure,
because that's super interesting to me, because we talked about it, especially even like in the regards to like the trafficking thing.
Yeah,
if you want to talk about that,
sure. Are you talking about the like the human trafficking or
yeah?
So I didn't go down that path because it was just still kind of weird for me. So what I did was I started out with like 500 AI, we'll call them influencers, took images of people that either I got rights to or I just completely fabricated. And I started split testing on different platforms to see what would work well on X, what would work well on Instagram and everything. TLDR, white women tend to do better than any other demographic for some reason, and
especially in India for some reason.
It's weird.
It's very strange.
But I did various ethnicities, male, female, and then we would use different. I was never provocative with the images or anything. There was no like crazy cleavage or anything, because I didn't want to give any type of signal that would suggest that this was potentially going to be AI, because it'd be like, why would somebody have such a boring person creating photos? Like, yeah, it was like, okay, this is clearly someone. So when you engage with people, like, the one social manager that I had in the Philippines, or have in the Philippines, that handles all of these accounts on my behalf, the goal was really to figure out how the platforms were going to evolve and change. And because I had built all these, this diffusion model, the application's actually available if anybody wants to go download it. It's called Pose AI. Like I kept building features for it. Like you could have couples photos, so you and your partner or whatever could take and have fantasy vacations or weddings or whatever, and all these other cool different things. I was like, well, fuck. Like, it was so much work to put all these guardrails on it, because you have to do checks for nudity and all these other different things, because you can't be in the app store and sell or anything. Right. And so I have all these different layers of systems on top of it. But I was like, one of the things I could do is just take all those guardrails off, have a completely unfiltered one that does like essentially. And then what I would do is I would have a KYC, or know your customer verification process, where somebody would have to submit their driver's license and their ID and everything else, prove that they are who they say that they are, so that they can't create revenge or something like that. And if they were, then allow them to use that to create supplemental content for their OnlyFans or whatever. And then not 100%, I wouldn't make any of the money from it. 50% of the money, because most, I don't want to say most, a lot of the industry is very shady. and there's a lot of claims around human trafficking and unethical conditions. And so it's like, I'm very big on incentive alignment in so many different ways, and everything that I talk about is like almost always trying to figure that out in whatever the problem is. And it's like, how do we take the profit away from this industry that's exploiting people and turn it around and help people? So we take like 50% of the whatever the revenue was generated and put it towards like Operation Underground Railroad or any of these
explain on that.
Anti-human trafficking organizations that help rescue people that are being exploited, specifically children or women. And then the other 50% of the revenue that we would generate, we would take among the team quarterly, and we would say, okay, look, what is going on in the world? There's a hurricane here, there's an earthquake there, whatever, this thing happened, or just something locally in the community, and we'll have some type of nonprofit action arm like HEB does. HEB it deploys to the state, like, anytime there's some type of natural catastrophe or whatever.
Even for like the Kerrville flooding, like we saw so many of like their rapid response vehicles and everything like that up there.
So like it's not me being naive saying that like, I'm not going to do it because me contributing to it, like I'm just because I don't participate in it doesn't mean it's going to stop this industry that's making absolute metric shit ton of money. But I'm like, I have so many different things to focus on. Like, is this the thing that I want to be known for? It's like,
well, the thing that was interesting when we talked about it was you were talking about the native incentivization.
Yes,
of that, where basically if you, because instead of
drive the cost to zero.
Bingo. Yeah. If you want to elaborate on that a little bit, because I found that to be like, that was probably the best argument I've ever heard in favor.
Yeah. So for me, in social media, a lot of ways, my anecdotal journey in this book was to take and say, hey, look, like, something's happened in society. We've traded so many different types of real world interactions and experiences for the digital one. And there's a cost associated with that. And like you could say that with the there's in real life, you have to meet somebody. It's uncomfortable. You have to get out there. You have to have like, shots on goal and like all these other different things, and you get rejected. But then the point at which it builds up and you finally do meet somebody and you have sex and you have an orgasm. It's like, there's an oxytocin release, and there's pair bonding and all these other different things that go on. Whereas like, you just go rub one out to. It's like, it's a very junk food processed version of that in that sense. Again, I'm not passing judgment. I'm just saying that there's a physiological and a neurochemical process that happens in the real thing. The same thing with social media. We've been given this lie that, this social experience is an accurate representation of someone's lived experience. And the impact on that in society in so many different ways is, you have stress on relationships because you see so-and-so is doing this and they're going there and they're doing this, and he really loves her this way, and they're doing that, and they're doing that. And it's like, this person's job is so much nicer than mine or whatever. And it gives these unrealistic expectations for the average person in thinking that like, they have a shitty life. The comparison, the bias in that, and it's so frustrating for me to see so many people upset about their lives and the things that are going on, and they're comparing it to us in the world of social media. It's like, no, dude, that's the highlight reel of my life. And at best, that you're seeing the highlight reel. At worst, you're seeing an AI influencer that I created that's completely false, or you're seeing a face-tuned image of a chick that doesn't even look remotely close to what she looks like in real life, and you're comparing yourself to that. And like, well, young girls are growing up with eating disorders, and like body dysmorphia among males is increasing, and like rates among teens and everything else. All these things are increasing. So I was like, hey, look, if I can create a tool that helps people create content as an influencer, let's just drive the cost of creating shit to zero and flood. And now the term's called slop, but the slop's gotten way better in the last few years, to your point, where you can see things like that ICE video that's completely fabricated.
But a majority still do not.
That's exactly it.
90% of you still will follow girls on Instagram that are completely AI based, and you will not know what you're looking for because you're like, oh, this is a normal individual. Oh, she's hot. bot XYZ.
The average AI video from 2026 will one-shot anyone over 50.
Yeah, dude.
yeah.
It over 50, and then a majority still. If you look at your AI influencers, it is f***ing insane that people do not know what to look for, because it is hard. Unless it's like looking at VFX. I am a VFX artist. I can look at something and be like, here X, Y, and Z. This is how it's done. Blah blah blah. I know I can be like, what do you see on this? And they're gonna be like, nothing. That's a normal human. I'm like. It's how with Freddie, when Freddie would walk in, or when I was doing VFX for Rocket Jump, I would ask your average person to come in. I'd be like, hey, can you watch this real quick? Hit play. Hit play. I'm like, you see that? And they're like, no, what am I looking for? I'm like, that's all I needed. I didn't need my approval on what looked or what was off. I needed your average individual to walk in. I can hit play. And them being like, what am I looking for? I'm like, that's it. That's all I fucking care for. And now females.
I still have my parents send me like reels and things today. And it's like, you know, we've been in the game, like us collectively. We've been in the game for the past 10, 15, 20 years. My parents will send me something. They'll be like, have you seen this? And I'm like,
It's the raccoon jumping on a trampoline kind of shit.
Yeah, I respond back like, that's AI, that's made up. And they're like, really? Really? That's scary. That's scary as hell.
And that's where I go back to the Second Amendment, right? Where I feel like as these tools become more powerful, the control is going to consolidate, and they'll be accessible to the haves, but not us. And so as they start making these, because it's too dangerous freedom, man. Like you can't like you can't trust the individual to be able to create fake news and stuff like that. And it's like, oh, but we can use it to overthrow this government. We can create all this propaganda, this realistic propaganda, and then we can give it to the news organizations here as if it's factual. Oh, and by the way, that watermarking and metadata, like fingerprinting and everything like that, you know, don't worry about that. We'll override it at the platform so it gets distributed. Whereas if the individual used the Gemini model or the OpenAI model, it's fingerprinted. And so it's going to get flagged as AI whenever you use it and everything. So it's like these things are like, it's very, very concerning that like, you know, people are willing to like just hand it over. And it's like, no, like these do not get complacent in these times, because this is where the ground gets taken.
Because I mean, our campaign motto is dangerous freedom. Like that was what, like we were talking about earlier. It's like, this is what the entire American experiment was founded on.
Yeah.
But when you were talking about, you know, driving the cost to zero.
Yeah.
The biggest thing was when you were talking about in relation to human trafficking.
Yes.
We were like, okay, well now all of a sudden when you have these AI models of women, like all of a sudden you've driven the cost of exploitation to a
degree, right? Because there's always going to be the psychopaths that like they will literally get off on the harm that they're inflicting on a real person, whereas maybe that like, you know, there's those other people out there that maybe that won't impact them or whatever. I don't know, but I think that you know, it's a very controversial conversation. Like
it definitely is, but like and I'm not saying it's right one way or the other, but it's well, I could pretty confidently say human trafficking is wrong.
I was like, Brandon, we could rephrase that statement.
I'm talking about the AI,
the AI version,
the AI element of it. Like, you know, there's arguments to be made both sides, but I had never considered before we had that conversation that like, oh shit, okay, there might actually be something to that, like the financial incentives.
Yes, absolutely. And so if there's like some key takeaways, like I'll give you like just some context around like the book here and everything too, because the book in a lot of ways is meant to really try to get people to understand the ways at which they're not necessarily being manipulated, but they're losing their most valuable resource and time, and kind of look at things a little bit more objectively. Let's have a quick conversation on this. One of the litmus tests where I try to have these conversations with people will be like, where do you stand on this? Where do you stand on that? Student loan debt, perfect example, right? It's like, and you don't have to pick a side or whatever, like, but like, you know, most people inherently will go like, well, it, man, I'm a blue collar worker. I didn't get my education paid for. Why should I bail those people out? And the other people are like, man, you know, fuck, man, like I've been paying on, I'm an indentured servant. And like, I can't even like file bankruptcy, and this debt goes to my children and everything. Like, and like both people are right. But the problem is like, there's two parties. There's a uniparty that's leveraging those conversations and never addressing the problem, the root cause of it. Yeah, if you're on either side of it really passionately, you're not looking at it the right way. The right way is like, how do you come together collectively to solve the problem? The problem is not that these people have student loan debt. It's not that these people couldn't afford or didn't get a handout to go to school or whatever it is. It's that these institutions have structured a deal with the government to take and subsidize these loans in a way where people can go into debt and never go bankrupt. And now these institutions have endowments that are like the GDP of most countries.
And they're spending more money.
So why should the taxpayer bail them out? Why not make the institutions bail them out and say, hey, you know what? By the way, from now on, anybody who gets a student loan can go bankrupt. And what that does is it forces the institutions to go, oh shit, we need to underwrite this loan. Like, we can't give out, I don't know, a gender studies degree or something like that. We need to know what the value in the marketplace is so that there's a probability that this person's going to actually pay us back. You need to, like, there's
institutional accountability.
That's exactly it. But that's it with government too. That's why I say, like, so many people are caught up into the left versus right, us versus them. And like, we really need to be thinking about things in a way that gets us to come together so that we can actually get shit done. And
the fraud in Minnesota is good. That was the first time in a while we've seen everyone's like, fraud's bad. Even on Reddit, it was just fraud's bad. I was like, what's happening right now?
Even then,
this is wild. We're seeing like, we don't care about either side. Yes, on the extremes, it's like, but they're like, whatever it is. But for the most part, everyone was just like, yo, this is what my money's going towards.
Props to Nick for doing that. Absolutely. But anytime I see mainstream media running with something in any capacity, I'm like, what is
red
this?
Flag in the back of your mind. Like,
what is the other hand doing right now? wait. What is this a distraction of?
What am I supposed to not be looking at?
What vote is going on this week? Like, or did the Epstein stuff get released this week?
Right.
Like,
and that's another thing. You get to see that during that time frame. It's like, look, and then the Minnesota stuff's happening now with the other protests and and you get to see like, here's this. No, look at this. So it pushes everything else down.
Well, that, and I think most mainstream news, most news in general, is now run on the what can I sell? What can I get to piss people off and rile people up? Like, what has happened that I can... No, well, actually, I'll tell you exactly when it happened. It's when we stopped moving, when we moved away from the subscription-based newspapers and subscription-based news in general and moved to the click factor. Because when you were running subscription-based news, you had a trustworthy news source, you paid a subscription, you got your newspaper every day, and then you read what the news was for the day. And then as soon as you move from your revenue is directly tied to how many people can click my headline and how many people will click this article, now all of a sudden you have a major financial incentive to sensationalize.
I think it's been refined since the newspaper. I think everything, like, I mean, you can say from information has followed this path of distribution at scale, where there were all these choke points. It was the Bible could only be interpreted by these, religious, higher, whatever. And then there's the paper, and then there's the radio, and then there's the television. Even TV refined the process with ad breaks. You would create a hook going into the commercial break so that the people would stay through the commercials to come back at the end of the commercial break. And that did that with news and all these other different things. The problem is like, whenever you take social media, which is machine learning on a very intimate device, and you iterate on that in a way that, like, you can really hone that down to exploit neurochemistry in a way that, like, is unprecedented, right? And you can make it individualized. It's not just generic anymore, whereas like you had your 3 major network news stations and stuff like that. Now you can create algorithmic optimization for every single person that increases watch time on platform and watch time on video by exploiting that neurochemistry, and whatever it is that gets them. And typically it's the snapping of the twig in the savanna that very like primal instinct for us. It's called like negativity bias, where the thing that causes fear or anger is going to keep you on there more. And I think that's, they have a fiduciary responsibility to extract value for their shareholders. The value is between the customer and the company is like, Google or Facebook, and the customer is the advertiser. We are the product, and our attention is the commodity that they're trading there. So whatever that they can do to increase watch time on video and watch time on platform, unfortunately, the thing is for most of us, it's anger. It's the divisiveness. And if you're in a constant state of that all the time, it just, I don't know, for me, I did a bunch of meditations and like these different thought exercises and trying to figure out, what was really important to me in life, friends and stuff like that. And, the very first chapter is about insight in a lot of ways, in turning on screen time and stuff like that. And then I just do these meditations, like I'd be on my deathbed, I'm like 85 years old, who's in the room, what's the temperature like, all these other different things. What are the things that are important to me, friends, family and stuff like that. And then I'm fortunate enough to be able to come back to a fairly healthy body, and I have this life in front of me and everything else. And then I can take and look at my screen time, and I quantify that, extrapolate it over, however many years and whatever that is. So I've got, 2.5 years on Instagram. Is that really something I care about at this point in my life? No. I do not. And so I'm going to prioritize the things. That's why I was, saying I really prioritized meeting people and going on dates and trying to find a wife and all that other stuff, and like prioritizing friendships and everything. There's just so many different things that I felt like that, you had to go through these processes. But
brother, I started a series back in the day on my YouTube channel. It's called Liar, Liar, Pants on Fire, where I would take what the media was saying and they would be like, oh, they shot this unarmed man. It's like, no, the guy actually had a fucking gun. They're all just in there for clicks. That's all it is, dude.
The guy that we were talking about it at lunch. It's the guy getting shot by the paintball or the pepper spray in the face.
Oh, yeah.
Versus, Cody, what was the clip they're not showing right before that?
So going back, I'm probably making a video about this one soon. The media had, and it's dude, it looks like a picture that you would take. You're a good photographer. It was a beautiful picture of this guy just like crying and standing back, and he's like, ah, and like a pepper blast, is hitting him in the face. And like what you don't see is right before that, he's grabbing the cop's gun.
It's essentially a grenade launcher.
Yeah, it's a pepper blast. It's not a pepper ball, it's a pepper blast. It's like a 40 mic.
Oh, nice.
That shoots out just a blast of fucking
go away.
Like OC, go away spray. And like he's fighting with the cop, he's screaming at him, he grabs it and pulls it away. And the cop goes back, and the cop comes up and he hits him with the pepper blast. Mm-hmm. But the media picture is this guy, and it's a beautiful picture. Like I was saying, it was something that you would take. You're a beautiful photographer, you motherfucker.
They're using it for that specific reason. It is, here's what we need to portray in the single image of, and people are comparing it to the Vietnam photos, where it's like they're aiming guns at the
college.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's that.
Trent State, I think.
Yeah, and they're comparing it to that because they were leaving out what, Cody?
That he grabbed the cop, he grabbed the gun and was pulling, like trying to take the cop's gun. He pulled it away from him, and that's when the cop stripped it away and pepper blasted him.
And that's how quick, because the majority, God, it's got to be like 80%, 90%.
Kent State, sorry.
Kent State.
Kent State.
The fucking wildest thing that I've seen this week, dude, is as long as you just leave them alone, like leave the cops alone. Like they're not out there stripping babies away from their families and shit like that.
No, well, they are an AI.
An AI, yeah. Like we were just talking about, the AI, 11 million shares on Facebook. God
it is
damn, dude.
That is the 1% to 2% that you're being served because Reddit X, whatever your algorithms cater to, knows that that is going to elicit a reaction from you.
Yeah.
And then because of that, you're going to comment, share, create another reaction. And then guess what? Bots are going to get a hold of that, push it even more. We talked about how many bots are on fucking Reddit, which is...
Reddit is a bot farm. Like, people think Twitter's bad. Reddit
30 to 50% of Reddit, they were saying like, hey, this is how many bots are on this. Because I was showing Brandon, look, this guy, I forget his name. He was just talking about it. But it was as simple. He's like, oh, I found out how to talk to bots. And you will see they will never elicit a response to this.
What state do you live in?
And dude. And it like I told Brandon, he's like, oh. And then I showed him. He's like, holy shit. It is a mind-blowing number. He's just asking bots this, and no one will respond to it. They will give paragraphs, but never, the bot doesn't know how to respond to what state.
It'll just be a different set of talking points. Like, it's kind of like if you talk to a telemarketer from New Delhi that just has a script.
Yeah.
And then, like, if you ask them a specific question, they will never respond to it.
And it's just paragraphs. And I showed Brandon because it sounds weird. You're like, what? No. And then it is... Dude just responds with, what state are you from? Paragraph. No response to that. Paragraph. And every response, different bots. Same thing. I don't know how to respond to that. I will give you this paragraph every fucking time. And now you're looking at Reddit, and I Googled it, and I text you. It's 30 to 50% of all accounts on Reddit, bots.
Wild.
I'm just going to go back on my thing with that asshole in Minneapolis that got blasted with some fucking pepper spray. You know who they're protesting? Did you see what DHS released yesterday? It's the people they were arresting there that they were there for. There's a list of like 20 dudes. They come from all over the world, and like they like DHS was there. ICE, oh, those fucking bad guys. ICE was there to arrest. Like, it starts at number 1, of a child. Number 2, of a child. Number 3, of a child. Like, they were there pulling people out and arresting them and deporting them who have had deportation orders on them from like 2005. They're just going in there and they're cleaning shop. And I appreciate those motherfuckers because, like, I have my son, my 16-year-old, right? And I want to have more kids. I don't want these people living around me. And ICE is going in and they are taking these people out of communities. And you got these fucking white women, these fat, stupid, ugly white women who come up and they're like, you're the bad guys. And then suddenly your lesbian partner gets shot because she's impeding them. Just fucking whatever.
What if we did a like a USO show, like the USO kind of thing for ICE agents? We called it Unsub on Ice.
I like that a lot. It's such a weird area because of all of it. I do not touch politics. I fucking hate politics in general. But for that stuff, I know. But for that stuff, I'm like, what? Like, do not compare that to Nazi Germany. That is a wild statement to me. Like, no matter how you look at it, it's like, that is not Nazi Germany. ICE is not Nazi Germany. This is, as you're saying, hey, they're collecting because X, Y, and Z, but not just we're putting them in carts and then gassing.
Yeah.
Wild
no one's
comparison.
putting anyone on trains and sending them to get fucking gassed out.
They're sending them to the countries they claim to love.
Yeah. Isn't that a wild thought?
So I hate that is a crazy statement to make in this day and age, but what, like, I don't know if you have anything. Like, for me, it's just a wild fucking statement to compare anything like that because it does a disservice to Nazi Germany and what everyone went through at that time. I'm like,
it does a disservice to Nazi Germany.
Yeah, I was just wondering about that.
Yeah,
I'm like,
sorry.
That's probably poor phrasing.
To the Jewish community that experience.
Eli was goose stepping earlier. I didn't know what was quite going on. I get it now. No, I mean, I honestly, I don't. My opinions on a lot of these things are really like they're all distractions in so many different ways because the fact of the matter is again, if you take machine learning at its face value, most of these stories are being optimized for the things that are going to increase watch time on platform. And these things, as much as I hate to say it, 99.999% of the people who consume it are going to have fuck all to do with it, and like they're not going to be able to make any impact any way, shape, or form. The only thing
they
that's
can put the
happening-
black square on their profile.
yeah, whatever. The only thing that's happening in this situation, the only thing that's going to happen from this situation is going to be that their time is extracted from them, and advertisers are going to serve ads. The platform's going to make money, and they're going to be worse for it. If people spent just a fraction of, like, you know, and again, I'm going to keep spinning it back to the book, but I like start spinning.
Please do.
I start spinning data points around like Mr. Beast and other content creators, and it's like, again, this is just a thought exercise. But you take out the amount of time that people consume certain types of content, and you take, you know, how many views he has, and you extrapolate that by, like, you know, 15 minutes average watch time on video or whatever it is. And that's collective human experience that's focused on this one thing. And I look at my videos and stuff like that, and I'm grateful that some people were entertained, but I'm like, what if just a fraction of that time was spent on making somebody's community better, right? Just like 5 minutes a day, like at times, you know, 3 million subscribers or whatever, dude, that's a big positive impact. You don't have to film it. You don't have to do this shit. Like if people focus just a fraction of their time on the stuff that they actually can make a positive impact on in their families and their communities, and not the shit that's the existential crisis online that's just really meant to serve ads, like, we'd be better off for it.
Richard, you're preaching to the fucking choir.
I know.
What,
I'm just looking for some clips here.
Six months
farming
ago.
in real life.
What was the thing 6 months ago? Was it Ukraine, or was it like Free Gaza, or like what's the new thing?
Well, I will just say,
now we have ISIS bad. Like, what was the new thing 3 months ago?
Look,
and it comes back to what you're saying is, like, whatever farms clicks, whatever makes these. Whatever makes the ad revenue.
Well, and that's what I was going to get into real quick, because like this has been burning me up, is like, since we had that conversation about like the news outlets and everything like that, about how they generate revenue based on, you know, what can get shared, what can get clicks, whatever. Social media, like, it's the best and worst part of it is that you've now opened that up. It's now open source. The users now get to do that same thing. They can do the job of media, and they can share these things, and they can put this stuff out there. But it's also, they fall into the same trap that all of the media did as well, which is they're only incentivized to get clicks.
Yes.
Based on what is sensationalized. What is something that will, it's like, if you've ever read like Ryan Holiday's like Trust Me, I'm Lying.
Yes.
Fucking crazy where he talks about like the only thing people will share are things that are funny or things that make you fucking angry. Mm-hmm. And that is what you see on social media.
But look at one of the clips right now and the photos. Look at this angle of the event that just took place in Minnesota with the shooting. It was all AI based. None of it existed. It was a photo that did not exist, and then an AI of movement that did not exist. All that, and then you got to see the reaction and the shares from it of, look, this makes innocent or fucking guilty. Doesn't matter. They got what they needed. This is 10 million views. And it's all fake. Well, and you don't know until 5 million views after the fact if you double checked it.
What I would encourage people, and very much like just trying to talk about like the student loan debt thing and all these other different things, anytime a situation like these big geopolitical, I don't know, whatever the hot button thing is that comes out, like try to see if there's a way that you can zoom out and find a different perspective on it and not be so emotionally charged in that conversation. Because again, like, you know, we were talking about the various government organizations that are looking to lean on these platforms and these various weighted algorithms to drive a narrative so that they can introduce the change that they want for whatever profit, if it's overthrowing a government or whatever, or if there's a novel virus that comes out and you want to suppress portion of the population that may be objective to, like, or not wanting to have, I don't know, a vaccine that may be or may not be ethical. You know, there's all these different things, and so I think that a lot of people they get so fired up, rightfully so. I mean, you're a human. If you see something that you feel is unjust, but like just try to figure out the situations in which you're being manipulated for something where the other hand's doing something that you're not aware of.
If we can bring it back around for a minute, your book, The Warrior's Garden.
Yeah.
What was kind of the inspiration for why you're like, man, I just really, because you've accomplished a lot in your life. Like you've done a lot of things. You've worn a lot of hats. Mm-hmm. What made you decide that you needed to write this book?
Well, I'm super proud of it. It's funny, like Jack Carr gave me some insanely positive feedback on it. It meant the world to me because I respect him so much as an author. But I was like, yeah, you can definitely see my ADD come through there a lot, and like how I try to set the tone for different chapters. Like I'm really big on perspective and quotes and stuff like that. Like the very first chapter is led with a quote by Charlie Munger. It's "Show me the incentive and I'll show you the outcome." And then I kind of talk about early days of YouTube and the incentive misalignment around social and stuff like that. But like even Prince like has a fantastic quote. It's like there's a war going on, and now I'm going to butcher it. There's a war going on inside, and the battlefield is the mind, and the prize is the soul.
Yes, and Alex Jones.
Yeah. And so for me, I was going through this kind of phase in life where I was really burned out as a creator, and trying to figure out things in life, like, you can definitely relate to this in so many different ways, but with the whole YouTube demonetization thing, with the firearm stuff and everything, I never really wanted to be known as the gun guy on YouTube or the slow-mo guy or anything like that. It's like, what is my contribution here? Where and I'm just going through this anecdotal kind of detox phase, and you have social capital as an influencer, right? When you get 40 million views a month or something like that, everybody's blowing your phone up. Everybody wants a piece of the action or whatever. And then the second you stop doing these things, like you stop jumping out of airplanes, your adrenaline responses, all these different things, like Dr. Anna Lemke from Stanford calls it the pain dopamine seesaw. And so like if you're always jumping on the dopamine, the balance when you come back is going to be really difficult on the pain side. And I don't want to say I was like depressed by any stretch of the imagination. I really appreciate Cody reaching out from time to time. It really meant a lot as a friend. But like I was going through this anecdotal journey and trying to figure out these ways to establish these boundaries around my digital experience in a way. And again, I'm not passing judgment on anyone. I don't want you to think that I'm asking you to, delete your social media accounts or anything. It's just, it was me trying to be as assessing the things that I value in my life, figure out what my consumption was, how to establish boundaries, figure out what the mechanisms were, community, friction, even gratitude. One of the most powerful things for me that I found out, which I didn't think was going to be in this process, I'll give you a little statistic. One of the most researched data points of all time will be the placebo effect. And that means that they have to account in most studies 2 to 3% for placebo. And so what that tells you is the brain has the ability to impact the physiological state in a meaningful way. So if I'm able to take this negative experience and find a way to inversely spin some positivity in my life, it will mean that I have a better lived experience. And I've kind of I found that over this journey. And even like, it's funny, I was talking with a publisher and everything, like I was very adamant about putting a journal in the back of it, because I didn't want to be a guy who like just goes around selling courses and shit like that after the fact. It's like, I want to jam as much information in this as possible, but then also give people like a journal in the back so that they can go through like this whole digital thing and these processes and stuff. So for me, it's very much an anecdotal journey and tools that I found that helped me in the process. But I think that the reason why I call it the Warrior's Garden is because I feel like the mind is that for me. I've dove deep in the world of regenerative agriculture in like the last 6-7 years, and there's a saying, it's not how much rain you get, it's how much you keep. And so for me, I'm trying to cultivate the soil of my mind in a way that I'm not angry all the time. The stuff that I bring to the table is as objective as possible, so that whenever I do get the rain, I retain as much as possible.
Not to get too personal, but is that something you've struggled with before? Like just being like just an angry person person? Or
No,
something like that,
not
or
even,
like-
not even. I would no. So there's a number of different things there, right? So like as a content creator, we're always at the whims of the changing winds of the distribution, the platforms and stuff like that. And I remember early days of YouTube, especially in my 20s, it was go, 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 go. Like, I mean, this person, we're collaborating, we're doing this, we're doing that, we're traveling here, we're doing this, and you're not making a whole lot of money, but if YouTube changes this thing, you're screwed or whatever. And even to this day, that still stands true.
Fucking life.
Yeah. And so for me, I found that I was very, there were areas of my life that were compulsive. And so a good data point for that compulsivity was in screen time, you can see pickups. And pickups, notifications, and first pickups, which really cool data point for that is once you have it run for a month, because there's an observation effect in like the first week, you start like throttling the shit that you do because you know that you're like, oh, I'm doing this too much or whatever. And then you look at first pickups, it's like, holy shit, I'm looking at, I don't know, Instagram, like, that's my first pickup. And I've got 1,000 notifications that I'm checking every day. It's like, okay, realistically speaking, again, not passing judgment on anyone in any shape or form, coming from a guy who created his, living off of being online. But it was like, is this being true to my future self? And so this is the thing that's always kind of, I guess I'll unpack something psychologically here. I've always found that because I didn't know my dad. I always found that I was trying to please a father figure in my life. That's why I was always an overachiever. Every single job that I had, you'll find some superior will be like, that is the best employee that I've ever had, because I would bust my ass. I would go 110%. I would put the extra mile in, like the effort that nobody else would. And then I found that to be a little unhealthy as life, as I got older and everything. And I was like, I need to really try to find a way to figure this thing out. And I did. I was like, oh shit, like it's me, like not me now, but me 15 or 40 or 50 years from now. The person I'm trying to impress now is the person I want to become. And so I have to look at the things that I'm doing now. Am I being true to my future self? And so that person who's laying on that deathbed, 80 years old or 60 years old because I lost a leg due to diabetes or whatever, am I being true to that person by spending X amount of time on Snapchat or whatever it is, right? And again, it's not saying that I can't do it. It's just, but am I finding myself doom scrolling in a way where like, oh shit, 62 hours of my week was on this. Did I really need to be on that? Could I put 15 more hours to learn the piano? Whatever. Again, not passing judgment, not saying to abstain completely, but you have to objectively assess the situation and what are the things that you care about and then hold them up. It's going to be uncomfortable, right? It really is. Like, it's almost like a junkie, right? Like you're going to find ways to talk yourself into saying, well, you know, it's not that big of a deal or whatever. It's like, but again, the person I'm trying to please is that future self of mine.
That is horrifically profound.
Unless
it's unsubscribe, then you can just watch as many reels or podcasts as you like.
Hey, let me say this about you guys. Like, so there's a chapter dedicated on community.
It's crazy.
Yeah, to unsubscribe. You gotta get it.
A chapter dedicated to what?
Yeah,
to the community.
Community, and the fact that you guys had like an in-person like event. Like, and you did a tour. That's so awesome to get so many people together in like an actual lived experience and not some just bullshit digital, cash grab online or something, right?
It is the hardest thing because this is one thing I'm very big on. You want to build a community aspect, you have to do that. It can be uncomfortable, it can suck, but you have to do that in order to give back to them and then to yourself because you are making a stronger connection with them. We can be on camera every day. We can talk to millions of people every fucking day. That is not as important as connecting, where it's like butts and seats, like,
especially doing good stuff with it, like the fitness challenge, for example. Like so many people, and we're really proud of you, like genuinely, like we check the subreddit and everything like that. seeing how many people that like actually turn their life around, like losing, 50, 60, 70 pounds over the course of just completely doing a 180. And I'm sure like everybody out there that did it, they feel better. They are living better. Like it's
we just had Ethan on too.
Yep. Yeah. Ethan Bernard, like a really, really good example, not taking credit for what he did, but like
That's all.
That's all. Eli,
60 pounds.
You have no idea how much Eli bullied Ethan. I've seen the text.
It's actually disgusting.
It's
Why are you at the fucking
Eli threatened him with a gun.
I don't know what the medical term is, but I think it's close to lacerations. There was severe penalties.
But it is so rare to have that. You can attest to that. It is like that's what makes the difference. It is
sure.
A typical online content creator to let's perform, let's actually interact with them, and it separates you so much, and then it motivates the individual out there. They're like, holy shit, okay, I'm showing up to this. I'm interacting with the guys, or I'm interacting with other individuals in the same space. Motivation. And then you have the weight loss programs, everything else on top of that.
And that program, like you say, weight loss program, like we're not selling anything. We're not doing anything.
We're
We're
giving
literally
money
just like,
away
hey,
for it.
yeah, we were giving money away.
That's $10,000 away for it.
We lost money, assholes.
Yeah, it's like,
Fuck you, bitches.
but it's the thing where it's like not even just like something that's a financial incentive for us. It's just like something that's like, how can we continue to make this community more and more tight knit?
Yeah. That's
And
huge.
do something positive with the influence that we've somehow got. I don't know.
Also, can I talk about how much I don't like Richard?
Please go on. Oh, thank God we're here. We're gonna put this at the front of the podcast.
This is the roast?
Stop talking.
The roast of Richard Ryan.
All right.
This mother. All right. One of the kindest, fucking most intelligent human beings I know in my life. He invites me up to his wedding. I'll tell you the story. He has these beautiful cowboy hats. He gives everyone cowboy hats, Stetsons, as a matter of fact. This motherfucker has a beautiful dinner. It's wonderful. Great. He plays a song.
Oh yeah.
Wait, what?
He plays a song, his first dance song. It was the one I've been planning for months for my wedding. He plays it though. Shake the Frost.
By Zach Bryan.
That by Zach Bryan.
No.
Great minds think alike. What are you talking about?
This motherfucker, I'm just telling you guys, he's not a good person.
Yeah, Richard actually bought.
I've been in your text messages.
Yeah. We heard. Play the beginning of this podcast with AI, and then Richard being, I created AI. And then just stealing Cody's idea to ruin that song.
Richard bought the rights to that song
He did.
just to make sure that you can't play it at your wedding. That's how it happened.
If you guys have taken anything away from this podcast, that Richard is a fantastic person. You should probably read his book.
Genuinely one of the most, like, I'm sorry, I'm going to suck your life here, but genuinely one of the most intelligent humans I've ever met. And I from the bottom of my heart, I always enjoy having conversations with you.
I appreciate
it. Very fun.
Loves blackface.
Well, he's not Harley.
Actually, where do you guys sell your merch through?
Bunker.
Yeah. Okay. Because we were talking about this earlier. Maybe I could because I actually don't sell those limited edition hard copies anymore. But maybe something we could do. We'll figure it out. Like maybe I'll give 1,000 copies away with people who buy $50 worth or merch on.
For every book you get a photo of his penis.
Yeah, it's in there.
It's a Polaroid.
It's very small.
It's a
He's
very
a
small.
horrible person.
Yeah, very small.
Small what? Penis?
Yes.
Small Polaroid.
Yeah, that too.
That's just like this little.
But where can they find your book?
Anywhere books are sold for the most part. I mean, you got digital copies.
Walmart?
Yeah, fucking go there. Ask them for it. Be like, hey, where's that? Where's that, man? Anywhere that doesn't sell it, cause a scene. Go to Barnes & Noble. Where the f***'s the book?
Yeah.
Where's the one with the samurai warrior?
No,
Yeah, like strike your local bookseller.
Yeah. Richard Ryan.
There's I read the audiobook. There's a Kindle version. There's
read
a
it?
paper. Yeah, I did.
Is it out now?
Or you
It
spoke
is, yeah.
for the
Oh,
very
audiobook.
nice.
I read it.
Is it on-
Actually, so it's funny. I've debated on doing this. I debated on doing this because I was going to start making some videos on my personal channel. It's like 20 years old. I was like, fuck it. I'm just going to read a chapter, live stream me reading a chapter to people every night.
You should do it in the Hugh Hefner robe next to a fire.
Yeah.
Just a fireplace reading.
I kid you not. I would literally my fireplace with the little deer over it, and yeah,
Dude, I'd watch it.
live stream that, and then I'm making like a 3-hour kind of Netflix style movie of it.
You're all gay. I hate you.
That's
all
chapter
AI.
3.
It's all AI.
That would be the motherfuck if you wrote this using ChatGPT or some shit.
Trust me, you read any of it, you're like, nope, definitely not.
Let's just say you really like the TikTok dancer video.
Is there a chapter?
Or perhaps a epic slow motion explosion videos from Herrera with a YouTube channel called the Fura Mag.
Glory to CCP.
Eli, flip
Samurai.
to the chapter where you stole my fucking first dance song. If you could.
I hate the donut operator. Fuck him in a mood.
See, and what's funny is like that's like I don't want to say it's a common song, but like that's such a recognizable song. I thought you were gonna say "Simple Man" at first, like because like that one's so different. I was like, oh, I don't think most people would have heard that one.
Simple Man by Leonard Skinner?
Leonard
Skinner.
not Skinner. No.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll show it to you.
Which
yeah.
one? Okay.
Yeah.
This is like Cody.
Yeah, it's a cover.
During the wedding, you're like,
Okay.
what
Yeah.
the fuck?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Richard, where do the people find you?
I don't know.
No, look at the camera.
I mean, you go to thewarriorsgarden.com and that'll like direct you to wherever you want to go to find the books. I mean, I'm on social media and stuff, but
I'll also say this bit. When you sent us out, also, thank you, by the way.
Yeah.
You sent us
oh my
out
God, I loved your fucking
the little packages that you sent out, all of us that had the book. I thought it was a nice little touch. There was also like 10 little packets of seeds that came with it. It was like very literal. And I just got to a
I
place
wanted you
where
to get out and plant something.
I have a garden.
Hell
back
yes.
Now that I'm just like, oh, fuck yeah, this is going to be my new project as soon as like the spring rolls back around.
I really enjoy doing stuff like that. If I do another book that might get me deleted, I've got an idea of the way that I would do the kit and everything. It'd be really cool. Really cool.
He only sent me cotton seeds. I don't know what that means.
Literally my text. Wait, real quick. My text to you. I was like, well, now I have to do a story on this book just because of the packaging. And you're like, dude, epic. Glad you dig it.
Glad
And I was
you
like,
dickhead.
Yeah. Dude, I am so big on packaging. That packaging is so nice because it is something so simple. You, Jack R., which I'm assuming you learned that from Jack because Jack does a fantastic job with packaging. You mashed down. I was like, oh, fucking, okay. Well, Richard, I got to do a story on this now.
Yeah.
It's fucking so dope.
say, well, yeah, not to get in a pissing contest or whatever, but I made like a hand carved box for him. I was like, dude, I really appreciate you like kind of giving me this opportunity and everything. Like just because like, you know, when you're like, when you're known for something or like, you know, I've done the whatever, like the news stuff with Rated Red or the firearm stuff on YouTube, and you get like that social capital, that clout, and people know you for that. People always want to put you in that box. And I really put a lot of time and effort into that book and everything. And the fact that he like showed up to our conversation, he like, you know, he's a really fucking busy dude, but the fact that he would go through so thoughtfully and give me the opportunity to chat with people about that and everything, I was like, dude, I just thank you for like not just seeing me as the gun guy on YouTube or, you know, the other guy who did this or the tech guy or whatever the fucking box that you like, you saw me for the work that I put into that, and I appreciate that.
So he's like kind of an inspiration.
For sure.
Is that why you like starting to dress and look like him?
Yeah, no.
Did he your wedding up too?
No.
Okay.
No, that's funny.
Fuck you, Jack.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. No, I actually reached out to him before I started writing, and I was like, "Hey, man, like, just any kind of pointers or anything like that, because there's so many different paths to go down. There's so many things that I want to cover in this. I need help with like researchers and stuff like that, and I don't know, like, do you need ghostwriters? Do you need publishers or whatever?" He's like, "Just do it yourself, man. Like, just like do the work and get through it. It's gonna suck and everything, but like don't rely on someone else to do that for you or anything. Don't worry about a publishing deal or anything like that right now. Just do the work." So,
any final words to the people out there?
No, look. Again, when you see people talking about things around like the attention economy and digital addiction, it's very easy to assume that people are going to want you to abstain and delete your accounts. And in no way, shape, or form is that it. What I want people to take away from it is life is very short. The time that we have with the people that we care about is very limited. You're doing yourself a disservice if you don't at least assess your relationship with your digital experience versus the lived one that you're wanting, and establish some boundaries around it.
Yeah, so like you don't need to be a Luddite. You
you can use $2 words around me all you want.
But
$2
words. I thought we were friends.
Now call him a
Say the word, Richard.
Yeah, say the word, Richard.
Balls in your court, white man.
I read the word bifurcation for the first time ever in your book.
I was about to say, motherfucker, you've been using $3 words all day. What the fuck?
I love it, man. I love it.
Fucking.
It was cold in here when we came. Now it's like burning up.
Sometimes you bring friends in who use big words and steal your song for your wedding. It happens.
I don't think he's going to let that go.
I love it. I love it.
Call him Richard Wright.
Hey, look, you see if one of your buddies could make a call to Tyler and see if he'd do it live or something.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah. Raise the stakes. Raise the stakes.
All right.
Cody,
Calling it,
close out.
boys. We're doing it. Guys, thank you for coming to the Unsubscribed podcast. I was joined today by Eli Doubletap, Richard Ryan, Brandon Herrera, myself, Donald Operator. Thank you so much for being here.
Love you, bitches.